edges than it actually felt. I feel like in
Normalement, vous allez être avec nous pour tout le reste de la journée. Il n'y a que 2 tickets pour la place en grande finale. Should we welcome the first semi-finalists?
Absolutely. Please welcome, bienvenue, 100 Thieves!
Timotino, hier, s'est pris pour Kylian Mbappé et aujourd'hui, il va falloir assumer. Let's see if the 100 Thieves can steal the crown here in Paris.
Absolutely oozing confidence. So far, you can see it on their faces. They are ready for the occasion and see themselves in that grand final.
And against them, the last hope of Korea, the last hope of Pacific. It is Nongshim Red Force.
There might be the last hope for Pacific, but you can see they've got plenty of hope and determination in their eyes as they wave to the fans here, getting a strong ovation despite the fact that they took out Vitality yesterday.
It's Americas versus Pacific. Time to pick your champion. Choisissez votre champion.
Only one spot hangs in the balance in the grand final. Who's taking it?
Thank you very much, Lou and Ian, as we get ourselves ready. I'm not sure if you could hear that at home, but the Nongshim Red Force cheer was very, very loud. The Paris faithful made it known they are the home favorite. Possibly because they knocked out Vitality, possibly because they're not an America's team, but either way, it has been awesome with all the action here in the intros. But the ceremonies are over and it's time for the guys to get themselves into the server.
Yeah, now we're going to be seeing Sunset as that first map. Little bit of a question mark from the side of 100 Thieves because we haven't seen them play yet. But for Nongshim, they actually lost this against G2.
Yeah, very close encounters, right? But there has to be a reason for them to go into this Sunset. Maybe there were partners, like screen partners coming into the event and they have seen a little bit of that Sunset and maybe why 100 Thieves wouldn't want to play it. Maybe there are things that we just don't know about this encounter. What I do know, because now that I think about it, I do not want an Americas versus Americas final, so I'm actually with the crowd on this one.
Listen, what if you vote for 100 Thieves but not NRG?
I will do that if you do that with me.
Oh, okay. I'm not making any promises. Anyway, back into Sunset.
I don't want you, no, I don't want you to, I am okay with this, as long as you don't tell me at the end of the day, oh, because Nongshim won, I want to go with NRG. Just
Okay.
protecting myself.
Listen, everyone knows I'm 100 Thieves stan.
Everyone
Okay.
knows.
Everyone knows. It's public. It's on social media. It's out there. I'm not scared to admit it. But that's why I'm really looking forward to Sunset because Nongshim, their side, they've played that breach. They like to do a lot of those trap setups, fast splits into market, making sure they've set themselves up for success. But I don't know if that's going to work against 100 Thieves because they tend to cook up some crazy stuff to counter. They're really good with their duelist entries. They're good at baiting a lot of that utility too. And so I'm expecting from the side of 100 Thieves, maybe a little smile from NBS once again to make sure he knows how to counter
A little bit of a smirk. I think also that G2 did a lot of their homework for them because we already saw G2 being in this situation against Nongshim, having to bounce back, having to go up against them and just deal with the utility we just saying about the breach, and I think that they did a very good job. Could it possibly be that Nongshim is about to change something again?
No way. Changing, perhaps? I think that would be super exciting to see two different comps we haven't seen before from both of these teams on a map.
Sunset
like
is back.
Sunset.
Everybody wants to know how are we going to be playing Sunset. I don't feel like there's someone out there that is 100% convinced there is the best in slot.
Yeah, the meta is not defined yet. The play style is not defined yet. There is no set strategy to play this map. The map is just so new when it's come back with all these meta changes. The only thing I do know is I'm definitely expecting a Neon. Neon has been so good clearing that elbow, taking care of the mains, and it feels like we're going to see something like that. But as the Agent Select jumps up on the screen here, we're going to see that Nongshim, they're actually keeping that breach online, Kukuka.
Yeah, they're keeping it online for the side of 100 Thieves. They've decided for something along the lines, very vanilla, very resembling of what they do also maps like Haven. Bang on that Omen. Asuna's going to jump into the Phoenix. Tina with that Neon that you were mentioning, Athena, and the value that is going to have to find, especially with the performance and Timotino had yesterday, with them starting on the attack. Ball is completely on their court to be a surprise here.
I think for me, it's X-Ross not on the Phoenix. X-Ross going here with the fade. He was clutch in many of those rounds yesterday on a duelist, but will flip on over to fit the composition for Nongshim Red Force. With the big talking points, you guys hammered it home. It is Timotino and Danby, two of the three best left in the tournament. They're going to go head-to-head in this first map, best of three. One step closer to the finals with this map win as we send it on over to our casters for this matchup. Pacific versus Americas, Nongshim Red Force and 100 Thieves on the call. It's Tom and Mitch Man.
Thank you, Deacon. It's time to kick this one off with 100 Thieves stepping down on that stage. But I was surprised to see or to hear that Nongshim, I think they might have gotten the louder cheer out of the two.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe they've won some people over. Maybe
All the Gentleman's fans.
eliminating one or two people along the way might have helped them out. But I also want to talk a little bit about the veto going into this one. I came into today going, okay, both of these teams have a bit of a map that they're going to ban. Fracture for Nongshim, it went the way I expected. It's that Sunset that was the surprise. And I saw MBS coach of 100 Thieves earlier, and he had a grin on his face. He took out the split. He knew this map was coming, and it seems like 100 Thieves have a plan. But if it was a trap, Nongshim have gone, I'll take your trap and I'll raise you because we think we can beat you on this map anyway.
Oh, different identities brought to the server here. Nongshim starting with the breach. You see the stun lined up and it's fired through already. Asuna not long for this world. They threw out a cage to try to help him, but There was no way back for him, and now 100 Thieves are sent scurrying, leaving this position with just Cryo holding it. Lots of traffic coming his way, but he hits hard and brings us back to a 3v3.
Yeah, it's left an isolated player on the other side as well that has to be dealt with. Ivy had a phenomenal performance yesterday and is going to need another one. It's a dink connected, but it's not quite a kill. That allows a route straight towards the B site and a post plant, which actually going to be quite awkward for the defensive side because it's planted for their own spawn.
It's an excellent recovery by 100 Thieves. Cryo did the work outside of A. A formality on the trade out of the damage. Time ticks away. Francis sees absolutely nothing. Normally, you're going to expect to have seen the spike by now, but like you said, that plant position for 100 Thieves, it gives them that forward position to hold from. Awkward fight here in the corner. Vora isolated. But they've got the time on their side now. That stuns bought them even more. A paranoia to delay, and I even get them out of the corner. Maybe not for Bang. He's going to be caught off. Timotino, the last man standing, but the clock by his side forced Francis on the defuse. It's a narrow margin, but a solid opening from 100 Thieves.
I'll be honest, I thought that Aftershock was going to be enough to win the round. Clearing both players from that awkward corner, forcing them into a wider position, and both of them being tagged low. But it is, again, some individual brilliance from Timotino. A man who is quickly rising up the rankings of how highly rated he will be. And for 100 Thieves, of course, a team that narrowly missed out on London.
I'm out of here.
Now look to leave their mark at EWC.
Deploying drone.
Well, this one's looking a little bit quicker. An open B site. Not really anything in terms of resistance, although saying that, Nongshim have rotated in very quick.
Gotta go.
Timotino's not looking to let Ivy out of that corner. Seemed to be a death sentence for Nongshim in the last round. Deep flash coming through. Asuna forced back by the Seas, but again for Nongshim, they don't have a lot to actually fight with. Like, they're dealing with that first burst of aggression, but they shouldn't win most of the fights yet. They're trading. They're trading remarkably well to start. But to finish, it seems to be a different story. RB left alone, trying to add more of a cost to this round, but the price tag stays at 2.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more costly than they would have liked. A weapon or two that needs to be retrieved, but ultimately, that's about the minimum that the 100 Thieves would have been hoping for. And of course, Asuna getting a couple of those kills is always going to help out get towards that Phoenix. So the funny thing is, looking at these two Sunset compositions, you'd kind of look at what 100 Thieves are playing and think, I'd quite like to see Nongshim playing that. Like that more aggressive double duelist, having the potential for Exros back on the Phoenix. Yeah. So I want to see what they get out of this composition that they can't get elsewhere. And well, these aggressive stun pushes seems to be a part of the plan. It hasn't caught too much in the early round. That has, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure that has much to do with the agent in play, but the breach of Francis finds one in the spam. Big pickup and a Rolling Thunder online now for Nongshim. It's going to be put through quite early on. I'm not sure they can really even follow up on that. As the smokes fade, it's just a delay strategy. It's stopping the spike from going down until reinforcements are here. Job done with Cryo alone. The rifle in his hand. A sliver of health remaining and a firing squad around the corner. Nongshim have handled that aggression beautifully.
Yeah, this is going to be about damage now. How much cost can Cryo cause this Nongshim side, or are they going to come out of this one flawlessly? It's already an impressive start. They've enjoyed these deep pushes off the back of the utility of Francis, but he's also just frying. And this was sort of the fun thing yesterday. I think in that third map in particular, we were watching Nongshim play, and a lot of it just didn't make sense. Like with how quickly they could swarm onto an opponent, how good they were with just individual shots through smoke. Okay, this one there was a reveal, but yesterday there weren't many reveals. They were just hitting those shots anyway.
Straight VS.
And if they can get back into that rhythm again, I truly believe there's no one in this tournament that can stop them.
Well, yeah, it straight up looked like they were cheating yesterday. Like, they had every read right. Even when players were in front of them, they would just cut straight through, mow them down, and Dabby, with his early aggression, was a big feature. Now, he tagged Asuna, but the ult is activated. Phoenix going to get his health bar right back, but won't get much for the ult popped. The space immediately filled in by Nongshim, but the rotate through is massive. This defensive side has all 5 players towards the A side a couple of seconds ago, and 100 Thieves are quickly switching direction. This is going to be the B site for free.
Oh, maybe
danger for Cryo, but okay, he's caught Ivy on the cross.
Well, Xros has managed to rotate in, and just the spams have helped him. He's now in trouble, though. Revealed up at the back of the site. Danby now making a move. This is very isolated from the defense, but they are happy to make these moves alone. They have the individual players that can just take over rounds. And Danby, once again, maybe the best of them. He leaves it down to Cryo, and there's no hope with RB on the flank. There are moments where you look at what Nongshim do and go, that is one man against the world, but when that one man is Danby, that is enough.
Yeah, it's the best thing as well, is seeing him be challenged by a wide swing Neon, that slide going through, the thing that so often buys him that first shot on his opponent. And he just domes him. He gets him right away, like, oh no, bro, you're not gonna catch me with those tricks. Look at this. Or don't. It was unbelievable seeing him flick so quickly. Take that backside control, and that's the thing, like you say, sometimes it looks like Nongshim make mistakes, and then you realize that they've just got the players who can thrive in those positions far more often than they should.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing we talk about when we look at a team like Paperex. It's like from top to bottom, they have so much individual skill. And yeah, sure, sometimes they'll get punished for it, but more often than not, they won't. Already, Ivy playing back into his utility. They're up against an eco, so you think they need to be careful, but they don't care at all. Cryo left alone. He don't for one. He'd pray for a second, but I don't think he's going to get anything from this round. They're just dancing around him, and it's Francis that ends up with the final kill. And look at them. This is a team in a semi-final looking for a spot in the grand final of EWC, and they are giggling.
Yeah, momentum is a big factor for this squad. We saw that yesterday, heating up as the series went on, and they're coming off the back of that win.
This is 11-3.
For 100 Thieves, there's a lot to deal with, and you'd think coming in, it would be Ivy based on yesterday. It would be Danby in those big rounds, or maybe Xros, or hell, RB behind the smoke. Jeez, that was ridiculous on Breeze, but Francis now the one leading the charge, and that is the thing.
Work like this.
Oh my goodness, Danby's already in their spawn. He's running it down, and it's a taste of what 100 Thieves will have to deal with across this half. All-out aggression, and they've dealt with every facet of it here. Only Francis left on 5 HP, and that might put Nongshim in their place.
Yeah, this is what we need to start seeing from 100 Thieves is, okay, we know they're going to press us. We know they're going to be aggressive. We need to be able to soak up that pressure, otherwise they will continue to do it in more and more aggressive ways. This time, even with the stun, Bang was able to soak up a lot of that pressure, and a solid round from him individually. A 3K to level up the scoreline and take us 3-3.
Apa tuh?
Yeah, we were definitely...
Take us 3-3. From him individually, a 3K to level up the scoreline and take us 3-3. And then Xros, I think from then onwards, they won 8 rounds in a row. Like, it just, all it takes is for them to get into a rhythm, and it's going to be very important for 100 Thieves to deny that from happening. Because don't get me wrong, there's fantastic players on both sides of the stage. You don't end up in a semi-final without that being the case, but Danby is just running it down. He's been shut down again. And now the rest of the players have got to try and find a reaction. 100 Thieves have slowed their pace quite a bit. I think that's helping them.
Of course, last round, we saw it in the replay. Bang was finding 2 shots through the smoke.
Satisfying.
They thought that Nongshim, well, let's just go aggressive again. Let's fight them. Last time we got unlucky. This time, we'll show them what we're made of. And Xros might not have been Danby as the tip of the spear, but the hilt just as deadly. Cryo.
Good spot.
Looked like he's got a fantastic chance to backstab here. It's all going to come down to timing, though. And indeed, the direction that they go in with the hat off the head. Ivy's got all the info.
Yeah, Xros, I'll be honest, for the majority of this round, it looked like he should have been dead to rights. Nightfall, not going to connect. Both players have been able to dodge it. It does clear a lot of real estate. But those positions can be filled back in, and in fact, they have done. isolated
Ih,
fights looking
diving.
like the most likely turn of core. X-Ross needs another, and it's his 4th kill of the round already. Looking for that last player.
Oh!
Perfectly! How does X-Ross make every move exactly as he needs it? And an ace already in our semi-final.
We wanted to see that comp on the other side. We wanted to see Nongshim playing the Phoenix so X-Ross could have a chance to shine, but my God, it doesn't seem to matter.
He's insane.
What he's playing, look at that. The read couldn't be better.
Doesn't even react. He's just made one of the most insane plays of the tournament, and he doesn't even react. My God.
Sensational for Nongshim. That's the lead secured. And proof that it's not just Francis here today. Danby will not be deterred.
Oh!
He is pressuring, and he's tearing them apart. The big swing finally shut down by Bang. He's been the one to catch him a couple of times. The reason that Danby has fallen, but a 1 versus 3, the damage surely already done.
Question of the TP is whether or not it's worth it.
Saya pernah belum ketahuan.
Ivy low. RB in an isolated fight, but he is normally the safer pair of hands, forcing him into Francis again. An opportunity for a 1v1. No group up just yet. Bang's done well. Looks to try and maybe bait the idea that he's going back towards the B site. This is where you kind of expect the remaining players to try and group up, especially with how low Ivy is. The possibility of a clutch has gone up massively. RB's in a pretty solid position, but again, they're somewhat split.
Spike planted.
Bang's looking
Yeah! Agak berhasil itu.
RB hits the shot, but that's a big risk from Nongshim to split up in a moment like that, to give him a chance.
What about the rest of the round?
Well,
this is the third round in a row. The Danby has pushed the same angle.
And keep in mind, it started with him being shot through the smoke. Bang got a double to shut down the round before. The last round he ran out, immediately died as well. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And that's what he's been running. And it is just that confidence. That's the problem. You know, for this squad, I actually don't know what it takes for Danby to go, ooh, I need to tighten up here. I need to play.
Maybe it was 3 in a row. We'll never know. We'll never know now.
I'm not so sure.
This is a tough one as well when you're the coaching staff, of course. MBS, Doom Bros, checking in with their players, and you're kind of in a spot where I think there hasn't been a pause call before this, because their players are going to be very clear of what Nongshim are doing. They're running it down. They're sprinting down mid, trying to fight you early, setting up a stun, putting in utility to try and make those fights awkward, and then kind of slaughtering you in those moments. And although we have seen 100 Thieves already correct in some of the earlier rounds where it's like, okay, we've been able to stop that, we've been able to deny Danby and then get aced by X-Ross, you then kind of go as a coach and go, well, yeah, you guys know what's happening. You know what's going on. It's just they haven't been able to find a solution to it, or at least a consistent one.
This goes here.
For 100 Thieves, cracking the code is going to be tough on this one. Pistols brought in for Nongshim. A likely 6th. And of course, against the Nico, we all know what teams do. They push. At least to start. Nongshim went towards A main. They looked for it with Danby trying to swing around that corner. Outlaw in hand. And he then holds the angle. This is a different face to Nongshim. They're going to play much more passive in that early fight. And the space they're containing allows those rotations to go through. I don't think 100 Thieves are going to be quite ready for this much presence from Nongshim. 3 players towards top mid, one of them being Breach as well, with a full kit to play off of. X-Ross as well, taking one through the walls. Certainly not going to help things out. A Paranoia perfectly placed gives RB a follow-up. And the Spike's now down in the open. Even when they don't push, their aggression being ready to rumble. Cryo bringing us back to a 2v2, and from what seemed to be a secured round for Nongshim moments ago, there's now a battle on our hands.
Again, split between right on the edge, waiting patiently, and Bangs won that fight as well. It's left to Danby, and it's a thrifty round that comes through. Cryo, Timotino managed to make that one work. As you said, with the first couple of picks, I thought this was going to be a nigh-on simple round for the side of Nongshim, but there was a recovery.
Well, I think it was a simple round. They had tempered aggression to start with. It worked well with a trap setup on top mid. They pounced on the back of it. This is something we saw from them yesterday. Their defensive sides were really annoying to play against because they were constantly setting up these little traps across the map. They do that here with the early aggression from Danby. And then in the 5v3, they keep pushing. And that's the problem, overheating. I like the idea from Nongshim. I like the approach, the change of pace, but once things started to go their way, they got a bit too excited. It's given 100 Thieves a fourth round and a chance to still compete for this half.
Yeah, ults galore. Both sides having plenty to play with.
Shadows traveling.
Run it back, the overdrive for the attack, and Rolling Thunder, Nightfall, and an overdrive of their own. Gives a lot of opportunities, even just with the fact that RB can quickly rotate to the other side of the map, or that they have ults that will deny the push. And that's where I feel like 100 Thieves have to be a little bit more careful in this round based on time. You go in too late in the round, you get hit by one of those ults, it could end your round. But also you've got to be careful for everything else that Nongshim have been doing, which are those trap plays. They've been doing it throughout the tournament on their defense. For now, they've felt out the map, realized the passiveness of their opponents, and now with 35 seconds, look to head in towards this A side, or B side, sorry.
Nightfall put to market for now. But most of 100 Thieves are coming out of main. It was only Timotino who was unspotted. Going to be shut down by Danby, but they have found themselves an advantage nonetheless. Rolling Thunder trying to pull it back, delaying that time. Spike on the site, isolated but not dropped. Vora
exactly where you are.
somehow survives in that corner, but the cross is needed. 10 seconds, and Vora's there for more. His head may be bloodied.
Spike planted.
But unbowed in the end as 100 Thieves find themselves the site. It looked like they were up against it. Even with the man advantage, the Rolling Thunder, the fly through from Danby, but they dealt with it all.
Yeah, really good work from them. RB now the last man standing, and he's going to clear one, but Vora there to close around with a quad. Fantastic stuff from him individually, but also just as a unit. They're able to soak up that pressure, not panic when it gets down into those last few seconds. Obviously, the plant was the main goal, trying to deny it on the Nongshim side. You even see the aftershock sent through, but it's the clear of Francis that makes sure that there's no real danger towards the end. And the fact that Vora is also hitting one of those shots while stunned has helped him out massively.
Yeah, I mean, Vora did a phenomenal job. The pressure he was put under in that corner, his teammates isolated, the wall was trying to help him, and maybe it did give him the edge he needed to quickly correct. For Nongshim, they're left to pistols. Again, they should have 6 on the board already. 5 versus 3 in the anti-eco, but 100 Thieves managed to pull it back, find themselves with still a chance to take the lead by the time this closes. We talked about Nongshim's traps, though. It's been a huge problem for teams before that stun, that flash, but a counter flash from 100 Thieves has bought them a bit of space, a bit of time, and indeed an advantage with RB down. Nice work. That was really all the eggs in one basket for Nongshim. If that push works out, they've got a weapon on the floor, but instead, rotations to the A site, and 100 Thieves again picking the easier hit.
Yeah, I think Cryo's done well consistently throughout this attack side to sort of hold on to space. He will lose the fight versus Ivy. There's always deadly players on the Nongshim side, but they are being picked off one by one. Good use of the paranoia as well, just to remove a lot of that additional danger. Even still, though,
Spike planted.
they managed to make this scary, a late flank back. That's a freebie for Francis. We're now in a 2v2 scenario, and sure, there is a Hunter's Fury if necessary. I think that might now be the plan. You can see Vora falling back into a more passive position to maybe make that ultimate a little bit more viable.
Yeah, out goes the drone. The tag here, and maybe the ult will be popped. You can save it for time at this stage, though. That clock has run way too far down. Reveal going through. That player spotted. The spam has not
Ano
landed.
sila?
Oh no!
Nabakagi, bro.
They've cleared it, thankfully. The defuse no longer underway.
Enemy
The
remaining.
issues seemingly gone as time will decide this fight. That's
Kung sila Terimakasih ito.
and securing
Revolving.
6 for 100 Thieves. They've now taken the lead.
Yeah, it's a costly round, but it's one where ultimately I don't think you're going to be too worried on the 100 Thieves side. You get through towards the end of the half, and economically they should be absolutely fine to get back into the next one. Again, it shows that there never seems to be a free round, but they've at least, after what was, I think, 5 of 6 rounds in a row, managed to stabilize, managed to hold on versus what was an incredibly aggressive defense. And at minimum, they're going in even at the half.
It's a damn side better than it looked like it was going to be. Lifting the lead from their opponent's pocket, now a chance to lock it in at the halftime. For 100 Thieves, a slow start. They know that there's likely a trap somewhere. That this breach, the stun's being held for the start of so many rounds to try to get Danby into position. They've heard the noise in middle. Danby is patient for now, but that time was soon to come that he would go pushing forward. Look at 100 Thieves though. They immediately fall back, using even the Phoenix Blaze wall just to isolate off that angle, make it harder for Danby to push through, to cancel his aggression. And that's what they're doing for the entire first minute. They are waiting for Nongshim to give them an advantage. And instead, it's Nongshim to take it.
Yeah, cool. Just spam the smoke and get an opener. Back towards the B site.
30 seconds left.
Cryo looking to be the point of contact. Nobody really watching in that direction for now. It seems like the defense are setting up for a retake, but then Ivy looks to walk in, looks to hold the ground. Paranoia is perfect though. And Cryo further up than expected. Then the 1-2 punch as Asuna does the same.
Spike
It leaves them again with a man advantage, and they're waiting for these pushes, these solo aggressive plays from the side of Nongshim that they got away with earlier in the game. Now they're getting punished time and time again. And unless Exros has another miracle round, it looks like a 7-5 half.
100 Thieves figured them out. They did indeed crack the code. The vault is wide open as Nongshim's aggression punished.
Whoa!
That's beautiful from Exros. Good prediction. But it's not enough for Nongshim. A guaranteed 6th round seems to be on the board. We finish the half 7-5 with 100 Thieves stealing the lead out of Nongshim's back pocket. That one has gotta hurt. This felt like a series that they had control of, and especially because they were losing those rounds based on overconfidence, based on overplaying their hand.
Well, you have to bear in mind as well that this feels like a punish pick for the side of Nongshim. This is them going, okay, you're not going to ban a map that you've been banning throughout the whole tournament. We're going to pick it to punish. And I'll be honest with you so far, sure, there were 5 rounds where I was looking at that and going, this is worrying for 100 Thieves. And then they recover. They take that pause, they soak up pressure, and they manage to double back into it. That was a good recovery from them.
Yes, a familiar face here in the arena. Vous le reconnaissez peut-être, c'est pas le coach de Vitality qui m'a rejoint, Vitality coach par here with me. Yesterday you were on stage, today you're with me. I'm sorry, it's a pleasure to be with you, of course. I wanted to know, because you faced Nongshim yesterday, right? You must have watched their VOD, etc. So I wanted to have your little insights and thoughts on why they're a great team according to you.
Yeah, unfortunately they don't let me back on the stage again today, so I've got to watch Nongshim from here. I think they're a fantastic team just because of how coordinated they are. We've seen this throughout the year. They make the most of a lot of the meta, but also just they start the round in a way where they know exactly what they're doing. Halfway through the rounds, they then make a really clear decision. They know exactly what they're doing, and then they've got a huge amount of talent to clean up at the end.
Yeah, who's their best player?
I think Danby got Neon nerfed at the beginning of the year, but I think it's Ivy so far for me. I think he's put in a fantastic performance this event so far.
Fair enough. Danby and Ivy, du coup, première question, vous avez affronté Nongshim hier, c'était compliqué. J'imagine que tu as dû regarder beaucoup de VOD, etc. Pourquoi est-ce qu'ils sont forts selon toi? Énormément de decision-making collectif, ils trouvent les solutions ensemble, ils sont impressionnants, toujours même en milieu de round. Et pour moi, le meilleur joueur actuellement de Nongshim, c'est Ivy. And last but not least, even though the result, didn't go your way, etc., what do you want to be taking back, to Berlin from this weekend in Paris. I mean, this entire week in Paris, and also EWC.
I think we've been enjoying a bit of the weather, and the sun's been nice to actually be in Paris and be somewhere else. But I think ultimately the biggest thing is just getting to see the fans, getting to see all of you guys that have come to actually support. Unfortunately, not today. But yeah, being able to actually share a little bit more time with the club and feel like we are part of something that is a lot bigger than us. So it's nice.
Absolutely. Donc dernier petit mot de balle pour les fans. Ravi d'avoir pu vous rencontrer évidemment toute cette semaine. Merci à tous pour votre support. And let's see if Nongshim can or not take the win on this first map.
What does it take to beat Nongshim? Well, that's not a question that Pal can answer, but it looks like 100 Thieves may have come in with that question pre-filled. They played a blinder in that first, especially the second quarter. They come in with a complete awareness of what Nongshim want to do. They're ready for every piece of aggression. They seem to have protocols to deal with it, especially around mid in that late stage for Danby. He was not having even close to the success that we saw yesterday, where at times we had to question if he was even mortal.
Well, onto the attack they go. Versus G2, that's where we saw the most improvement, but Cryo has been on a tear. His attack side lurks definitely were a big part of holding on to a lot of that pressure. Even still though, RB's gone TPing into the site. The ground is being claimed, but a pre-take in from the defensive side. They're not just going to sit back and cower away from this Nongshim side. They will take the fight before they can get the spike down. A brilliant round, a clean round, and a pistol that will hold a lot of value.
Oh, that is a big step in the right direction now. I'm seeing MBS looking very comfortable on that side of the stage. As you said, you come into this, you feel like it could be a punish, but it's looking for 100 Thieves like it very much is something that they have prepared for day and night. The pistol, the cherry on top after a solid first half, a resurgence as well. The wind fully in their sails at 8-5.
Yeah, saving a map for the semi-finals.
Oh, that's a Spectre.
Is crazy. But yeah, a solo
Spectre with
no shield Spectre.
Shields. Yeah.
All right, so he's going to ace. I'm ready.
I think he might have bought that as the barrier went up. I genuinely think that was a mistake.
We'll have to ask. Or maybe we'll never know.
Oh.
Fantastically well for Francis and his Spectre. But there is one Spectre that's shining on the other side. Cryo continuing his reign of terror. As only Ivy stands and Cryo's there with 4 to his name. A big round individually, maybe not the player you want to get your orbs on, but I don't think they're going to care.
I don't think that they're going to be very happy on Nongshim Red Force, on Francis in particular.
They'll just buy a sheriff and headshot everyone, it's fine.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it does work a lot of the time. Look at him, he makes that big investment, he jumps to the side, and he gets picked out of the air.
He's just going to be the util boy. Util boy for this round. You sit back, put in the stuns, as long as he can afford his aftershock.
It's just so unlucky. He's like, oh, I bought this probably by accident, but I'll see what I can do with it. Just immediately blind fired at, caught in the crossfire. Now for 100 Thieves, set up close on A main. This is nasty. Timotino's going to be spotted, but there's a flash prime from right behind him. No, there's not. As soon as ran away, Timotino's dead. He's being sold to the Wolves, and they're eating good with Asuna. Good work to at least find the one, but much more needed. As players drop like fries, it will... Fries? Well, fries.
Put him in the bag, bro. Put him in the bag.
Fries drop into the deep fat fryer. It's all good.
Sure, why not?
Cryo's in 1v3. They know where he is. They're all now grouping up on this angle as well. Well, I actually no. I guess they're not. X-Rush just walked across with his knife out, so they're not certain.
Another one way. Gonna make it awkward, and Cryo's been good, but that one was a bridge too far. The stinger that was on Francis didn't play too much of a part in the end, and you can see the sheer pace that this attack side of Nongshim will look to try and bring through into some of these rounds. This is where things should get a little bit more interesting, though. The rifles on the board for both sides. The first full investment, the only ultimate online, the neural theft, which, okay, if Nongshim tried to pull off a ruse, might affect the round, but by the looks of it, they're gambling on this A side once again.
Certainly looks to be. Timotino's happy about that at least. With the first pick, Paranoia landed on a couple. They're forced back, and that staggers the fight.
One enemy remaining.
Leaves Bang and Asuna. Some easy duels and double digits seemingly on the board for 100 Thieves. This was a big round for Nongshim. The rifle for Ivy. Left on the other side of the map, and I think now they're going to start to get an idea of what 100 Thieves are looking for early on. Like, it's been a lot of presence on that A side. A lot of utility swinging out, not just from Timotino, but it's the fact that Asuna's there. You have the Phoenix flashes, you had the paranoia from Bang coming deep.
Okay. That was nice and clean.
I like the reposition, but I think he stepped a little bit too much. I'm almost certain Vora heard him, and there's a ping on the map right here. Yeah, he's got those pieces of info connected. Double digits locked in for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it looks like they're fairly in control of this at this point. Those explosive moments of those 5 rounds in the middle of the pack. It seemed like it could be the same steamroller that we saw yesterday. And then 100 Thieves have learned to soak up that pressure. They had responses to that same side A aggression that they failed to hold in the last round in their bonus. And already we're going to see the pause out of Nongshim. Now they are a team that are quite happy, if the moment feels right, to invest even 2 pauses back to back in a row if they feel that they are necessary. But it looks like we're going to have them talk things over in this circumstance to see if they can find a solution, and quick as well, because you coming up with that punish, sure, I don't think that I sit there and look at Lotus and feel like it's a dominant in either side. In fact, both teams have beaten an EMEA team in overtime. Those are the victories they've had throughout this tournament so far on Lotus. But even still, when you go into Sunset, a map your opponent hasn't played, and they look this comfortable, it does seem like 100 Thieves are coming today with a game plan.
I will look at Nongshim as well, though, and my genuine wonder is, have they tripped themselves up? They're still playing the game the way that they want to with that late round aggression. Think of the defense, the round that we said they should have pushed up to 6 on, and even more perhaps. They end up in a 5v3 off of playing the comp the right way, but in the late round, with the advantage, they go back to their scrappy style. They look for the fights, they push too much. And the comp isn't really allowing them to do that. It's a burst of aggression, it's a trap play, and a reset. Nongshim skipped the resets, and now they've been put miles behind. A chance to fight back here. Rifles in hand for a majority. But Danby down already.
They've managed to at least deal with the ult. And then Ivy's hit the shot to Timotino. That's going to level the playing field. Shot dart into the back of side will do damage, but the kills are going one way and one way alone. In fact, they're all going the way of Nongshim. A back and forth on this A side of the map, but some very low players. RB, one of them, 2 HP. Flash, he's going to re-peek on 2 health. That's almost too easy. Weapon now retrieved, but Francis holding in the corner might just have done enough. It comes down to 1. Cryo has been the best player so far, but that time has been ticking for quite a while. And his opponent in Ivy is just waiting for him to try and make his move. He'll get it to half a leaf, maybe even try and stick it a little further. But he lands the shot at the last second. Has he got the defusal? Cryo once again! It's going to close out a round for 100 Thieves.
That is a crazy clutch from him. It felt like it was played good. Even went in for the shoulder peek at the end there. And from his perspective, there's a good chance that it's being stuck. If the time is so low, not many would have the balls to stop at this stage, allowing the reveal to come through while he's still crouched down below. And you can see even at the end, they weren't sure he had it, but a big win, a big fight as well, right off rip. 100 Thieves, they changed their aggression to the B side, but they found, the TP from Bang, they thought he left. What? But somehow, he survives in the shadows, a corner, unchecked, and Nongshim needing a clutch now. A 1v2 with Bang still in their way. It is his round and his alone to put 100 Thieves on 12.
I think he would have put Houdini to shame with the way he managed to disappear from vision and then reappear in a spot that nobody expected. Not one player was ready for Bang in that corner. And no surprise, I think we're going to be seeing another pause. Just look, they're swapping guns, and it's the half check from Francis. That moment is going to be in the back of his head for quite some time. He looks to check if somebody's there, but it's a half check, and they're punished for it.
They'd already killed 2 players. They saw re-aggression coming out, and why would he still be there? And then just further reinforcement. You hear that TP, and you think, anyone who was even cautious of him being around there, he's leaving. He's running away.
Yeah.
He's fleeing. Let's get around that corner and catch him. Losing sight. A small gap. And 100 Thieves use it to blow this map wide open for Nongshim. They are so far behind now. This is a squad that seemed to have a commanding lead at a point with a chance to push it even further. They failed to secure a lead at the halftime, and from there, 100 Thieves have emptied the vault. They've taken them for everything they're worth, with Nongshim almost guaranteed to need a reverse sweep for the grand final spot.
Yeah, back-to-back clutch rounds.
Bring them down.
And now Nongshim need to find 6 in a row. The thing is, they've been investing over the last few rounds, so it's not like they've been building up to a big buy. This is still them on the brink. Only a singular primary rifle, but they do have a couple of ults to play with. Now, we saw them on the defense use both of these in 1 round, and wow, blink and you miss it. Timotino's already got the first that could be putting map 1 on the board for 100 Thieves.
Nongshim sending this to the A site. Only 1 man stands there, but it is the demon from their darkest dreams, their nightmares in the previous bang. In the corner, put 100 Thieves up to 12. Timatino's not stopping either. He's pushing forward, but Bang will have to hold his ground, but the reinforcements are coming. A tag up onto Francis. He's down to 10 HP, and what was previously 1 man on this A site is now 3, is now 4. In fact, 100 Thieves have wrapped in heavy, and it seems like Nongshim are going to take advantage of that. The spike's going the other way.
Playing off site. Nice shot from Dammy. He tries this as a ruse. The TP is going to give the information that they are outside that side of the map. Already rolling Thunder in, but it's not going to connect onto anybody. They'd left that back moment of the site. Shock dart in. Plant will be coming through with 7 seconds to spare, and this flank could end up being everything, but it needs to get a move on. In fact, I think he knows it, starts running it down behind, tries to give space, but it's Vora again, leaving RB as all that remains, and 100 Thieves from what was looking like a bit of a dangerous map, a map they banned all the way through the tournament so far. They have won it convincingly in the second half.
away a little bit. Looking at how this started, 100 Thieves, it's an anti-eco, but look at how aggressive they were. They looked for all of those fights. Those are the mistakes that typically teams we see pay at least somewhat of a price for, but it's confidence. And it's boots on the necks of Nongshim that makes me nervous as 100 Thieves. Big tag to open this up coming out of Timatino. Ivy's going to be healed back up, but that Outlaw now becomes deadly for him as well as the majority of this Nongshim squad.
I wonder if that's why the Spectres are in. If you know that your opponents are constantly buying light shields in these rounds, the Spectre becomes more and more deadly. A much higher chance of being able to clear out some of those kills. But also, as said, like starting out on the attack for Nongshim, this is where they really struggled. A bonus round victory is a necessity, unless again they are hoping for a crazy comeback, and already under pressure from the aggression of that Whaley. It was mentioned by on the desk that that's going to be a consistent factor for Timatino.
Thinking of yesterday where Nongshim were the team who went where they want, when they want. Now it seems like there was a different face being worn by this squad. One of respect, one perhaps of fear, as 100 Thieves have kept them back even with these weaker weapons. The rotations dragged over, Dambi goes down. But the C site should now be easier to take. That's the idea, and it better be. There's 20 seconds left, and still a Vice wall up. It's gonna cause problems as the first breaks through. The Spike still stuck behind. RB isolated on the TP. And as this wall goes down, as soon as reposition, he gets damaged. And they drop the planter. Give it time. 6 seconds. Another shot in for Ivy down. It leaves Francis. Sure, he'll put the Spike on the floor, but he may be soon to join it. Timatino up, over, and in. 3-0 for 100 Thieves.
Oh, this was his round. Not only was he hitting tags from the get-go, like leaving players low, but he was everywhere. We saw him take fights on the entirety of the map, starting out aggressively on A, moving his way through the middle of the map on B at one point, and then fighting back into the C site. Literally wherever Nongshim went, Timatino was waiting, and he's even there to close it out in the end. What a fantastic round from him individually. And as said, looking at the attack side last time out versus mates, there needed to be a bonus round. There needed to be a good start on the attack side for Nongshim, and it has not happened.
Honestly, up against Vitality, I don't think I saw Nongshim approach a single round with that sense of trepidation. And then you look at this round, where they have the rifles and their opponents have got the weak weapons. It's a big map, like Lotus as well. One where if you decide to just, hey, let's run at that site and see what happens. Even against those low buys, there should be less numbers there. But they were so scared. And for good reason. 100 Thieves show that they've got claws, even in rounds like that. And now Nongshim are left with pistols. Certainly nowhere you want to count them out. They've already traded blows. A lot of damage done, but 100 Thieves are playing this super passive. Sitting back, allowing them to have that early space. And when the utility's gone, they'll look for the fight.
Backside. Arsenal waiting a chance at range to spray down multiple players. They're looking to put the pressure onto him, and he throws under pressure. 4 kills in a matter of seconds, and while the aces are going to be handed over, Cryo doesn't want him to get all of the limelight, but there was only one man that was important in this round, and that was very comfortable in the end.
All these fans, be it 100 Thieves or Gentlemates fans, but they're having one hell of a show here today. Came in rooting. A lot rooting for Nongshim even over on that mate side. We saw a lot of their jerseys stand up as those boys mounted the stage, but this is a completely different vibe from what we saw yesterday, from what we've seen from Nongshim all tournament long. And we're getting a timeout here. No surprise with how things have gone. A 4-0 start. The next round carrying a lot of weight for this squad. As at this stage, it's not just about this, it's about the end of the previous map. This has been a streak where 100 Thieves look and feel more and more confident by the round.
Yeah, I felt like we saw glimpses of this on Split yesterday, where Nongshim went a little bit silent. I think it was 4 rounds in a row for Vitality. Then Exros wins 1 round with the Sheriff, and they're right back. It's like nothing ever happened.
With the Sheriff, yeah.
And I think that might be the moment that they need, because that sort of quirky, aggressive style hasn't been shown just yet. And I think that can be the case. There's a couple of maps where they do look that little bit more uncomfortable on a certain side. And at least for now, it seems like 100 Thieves are firmly in the driver's seat. Everybody stepping up. Of course, we've seen this organization throughout Valorant's history. 3rd to 4th at an international event is something they have achieved before. But making it to that grand final versus opposition from around the world is something that has evaded them. And well, if it keeps going as it does right now, they might be taking down the Santiago Masters winners to get into that grand final.
A team who has looked on form, again, looking at the gigantic win they had yesterday over Vitality, but Nongshim in general. They played an impressive game. They looked like players like Dambi, even after the Neon nerf. We're coming through, lights out. Ivy reaching another lane, another level.
Where are they going?
Over the last couple of days, X-Ross on the Duelist, but everything, and even Francis in that previous map, but it hasn't been enough here. They've not made a dent just yet.
Are they gonna push him? Smoke up, TP into it, reveal over the back? Because at least for a moment, it looked like that was the goal. Instead, they're hearing players go through mid and immediate usage of that convergence path, but Danby's there to stop them! One man that has completely dissipated the push. A thorn in their side, a spanner in the works, and what could have been another nasty trap quickly becomes a Nongshim round.
That's a really big round from Danby already. The Cryo left alone. The first on the board by the looks of things. Presence outside the B site was all they needed. 100 Thieves overheat. Timitino's ultimate is the go call for Danby.
Toxin screen down.
And his early success, Danby in particular, his early success hasn't been there. We saw 100 Thieves dealing with him, starting to shut him down on Sunset. As that defensive aggression never really found its footing. But now, a good round for him. Right after the timeout, Nongshim finding themselves success. It's not like even this weapon being saved is going to have a huge amount of impact for 100 Thieves. They've already got a lot of credits built up. But happy to save it over the butterfly effect, of course. No point messing with that.
Well, no, it's
chipping away at your own economy for, what, a couple orbs?
Well, this is it. Like, look at this as well from a Nongshim perspective. Like, you haven't managed to get any rounds onto the board just yet, and when you do, you win it flawlessly. Like, you get that economy boost, you get yourself an opportunity to really build into this game. But it's one where I don't know if it's recreatable. Like, you had a hyper-aggressive move to try and trap them in the B site. Two players were waiting, I think just got baited out, and then just a swing through the smoke in classic Nongshim style is what ends up turning the round in their favor. I don't think it's going to rock 100 Thieves, but it might give them a little bit more of a tentative defense.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that round comes down to 100 Thieves thinking that smoke outside C would be given a lot more respect than it was, and now they go back to
maybe that one too.
Aggression from Timitino with his get out of jail free card. He fires once, bails, takes Francis out. A lot of utility removed. The dog you'd love to have to be the trailblazer instead. Danby sent through to do that. The first on the board already. Wrap in from Timitino, but it's Vora on the side. He's gone in for more. With Ivy all alone. And 2 kills under his belt already. The spike still needs to be recovered. The ultimate could help, but getting into a position to use it is difficult. He knows that there's an operator on that site. He's cautious of it, but unaware of Asuna.
I think you're witnessing some of the value of that Viper Wall as well. Like, they put that deeper smoke down, and then just the Viper Wall goes up. Timitino walks through the smoke. He knows that there can be nobody on the other side because they can't have been there yet. They drop the wall. That's the opening pick. This, though, from Vora is a little bit more magic. Just having 2 players attempting to cross and then even predicting where that third player will be. He's the one that wins the round, but I really want to see how Nongshim are going to deal with fighting around that Viper Wall, because it can't be as simplistic as let's just walk out and think our smoke has done the work, because we saw in the last round that Timitino is more than happy to challenge that space.
Of course he is. With an AWP and a refract, why not? Aggression again with Ivy waiting this time. Unaware that there's a second part of that attack, but it has been spotted now. Asuna pops the ultimate.
Interesting.
In their spawn. Again, this is just him trying to stay alive. With the TP taken towards the C side, it doesn't seem to matter. Ivy's taking the round into his own 2 hands. With Vora last alive, yeah, he'll get the jump on 1, but 4 more to take down. A 1v5 ace clutch is needed for 100 Thieves to keep this momentum going.
It's been a weird couple of rounds for Nongshim. The first was Danby the hero. Nope. Nope, that's awkward. And the next was Ivy.
It doesn't on. Again, this is just him trying to stay alive with the TP ultimate.
Interesting.
In their spawn. Again, this is just him trying to stay alive with the TP taken towards the C side.
The 100 Thieves players' faces Even still, though, the rounds for Nongshim thus far have felt like a bit more of a flash in the pan, some individual brilliance. And with still plenty of credits for 100 Thieves, they're back with an ult once again.
Thieves towards that C site. You can see the Bang is stepping up a little bit, taking some space. The operator right around the corner. The dog on its way. Of course, he can always just TP out even from that spot. That's exactly what he'll do. It's because of that he's able to survive. And this early round for both teams is them sitting back, waiting for their operators to be challenged, waiting for someone to peek out around the corner. As of right now, a stalemate. It really does put the pressure on towards Nongshim. Door open. They've sent Aura running. Dive in from Timatino as a result, but he spotted one outside A. For 100 Thieves, there's not much they can do here. There's presence all across the map.
Also with the showstopper, they can kind of go late into this sort of round. And with the Nightfall on the other side, there's even an element for 100 Thieves that might just want to try and play this as a retake. Instead, though, the potential for the weaponry to be removed, and it looks like 100 Thieves have a completely wrong read. They are sending 4 players towards that C side of the map and leaving Arsena completely alone.
Yeah, they thought the smokes were put down on A just to rob them of info so the fake would work, but instead it's a full-on attack. Asuna able to delete the showstopper. 12 seconds left. The spam is good. It's stopped. The plant. It's bought them at least a little bit more time. 100 Thieves. 6 seconds on the clock. One more denial would be enough with the spike planted. Nongshim find themselves just enough room to set up a Bang. That's a big pick. He can wait now for Cryo, who's on his way down below, but the reposition of Francis, that seems to have given Nongshim the upper hand. But it may well pull them across the line with the op still sitting around. Sure, the shot is missed, but they still have time on their side. 2 players to run that clock down.
Snakebite.
It's good, but look, he's going to wait. Francis running that all the way down to the final second. They are playing this to win off of the clock, and I think they've already got it done. Camby most certainly locks it in.
Back and forth round. A lot of ultimates that needed to be used there for the Nongshim side, but I think the timing of the steel gun ended up being the best, because I was a little bit worried. Like, I saw them priming it originally, and I was like, okay, for Arsena, that's basically a death sentence, especially if the showstopper is used at the same time. Then they just use the showstopper. I'm like, oh, okay, actually, maybe they're in with a chance, but he uses it in the middle stage of the round, allows them to get that plant in with a lot less danger, and then just play those post plants, play the time. 3 of the last 4 rounds for Nongshim. After the start they had, I was getting a little bit worried. And also, Mitch, now that economy runs dry. They finally broken the 100 Thieves bank.
Yeah, it felt like almost an impossibility at a certain point, but chipped away at it. Bit by bit, piece by piece. For 100 Thieves setting up again in terms of those traps, but the walk through, the timing, caught by Ivy. The flash, perfect from him.
He's been great.
Single-handedly stopped that aggression. Although the op shot might not land for 100 Thieves, 2-man disadvantage, pistols in play, and 1v1s across the map. I think all Nongshim need to do now is group up to close this round out. Although that group up does mean crossing Cryo, that there is a chance here.
He'd have to hit some nutty shots. No,
and he won't.
Not this time. We've seen plenty of them, and RB is just countering those ecoing players. Looking like another clean round up until Vora wins the fight versus Ivy. Of all the players you'd bank on so far, Ivy's probably the one you'd expect to hit that shot. He has been stellar as that solo player on the other side of the map, but this round is over for sure. And although the economy of 100 Thieves would allow for Vora to go for this, it's whether or not it's worth it. Giving orbs over to the other side could be a problem, but if he can pick up enough, cause some cost for Nongshim, maybe it's worthwhile.
Yeah, as we can see as well, X-Ross is waiting on the other side of the map, so if he did turn tail to just go and save, Death probably waited for him over there. But Nongshim, now we're looking a little bit better here. Starting to piece rounds together, starting to look a little bit more in control of this game. Remember, this is a 100 Thieves map pick, though. And I suppose that's a good question to ask as we get towards the end of this half. Where is the goalpost for Nongshim? Is 4 enough already?
Well, if you're going based off how they play versus mates, yeah, they only needed 2. But no, I'd say if they can get 5, I think they're still in a pretty good spot. I think their defensive side aggression was really difficult to play against. It's clearly something 100 Thieves feel ready for, though. And that's what makes it difficult. Danby, aggression once again. And well, see you later, Cryo. The thing is, this isn't even the push. This is the ruse, but sometimes the ruse can be enough all alone. Danby, with no help, no friends beside him, is a menace. And he's given his team full control. Arsenal, though, trying to get ahead of it. He gets dealt with. Timatino's found a response, but that response still sees them one behind.
That's the wraparound from RB. He's been spotted. I could have closed the round, but the swing from Ivy does just that. Timatino, an AWP trained on his position, and that will be a death sentence. Nongshim back up 5-5. The recovery most certainly on, as the real fear here was that 100 Thieves would replicate that performance from the previous map. Nongshim's pick, but if we could go back in time, I think that would change. 100 Thieves were ready there, but seems like Nongshim found an extra gear on Lotus.
It seems like both teams have done that. Like, we've seen these sort of early starts, and then both teams having that ability to completely reset. And I do think a lot of that just comes down to a couple of rounds from the likes of Danby, from the likes of Ivy. It really does feel like the 1-2 punch, but of 2 players that are playing opposite sides of the map. You have Danby just running around. Like, this round is literally him diving into the B side, coming out with 2 kills, and the rest of the team are just going, all right, we're going to hit C. You're your own entity. And then think back to some of the other rounds where you have this sort of aggressive push coming in, and Ivy's just holding the line. He's able to just be that almost turret-like player that just doesn't allow 100 Thieves that level of control. It's difficult when both of those players are playing fantastically well. That aggression that was initially working, think of Timatino finding those openers, finding that aggression. When that fails, is there another level to 100 Thieves? And well, that's probably what the pause is for, because they've lost 4 in a row now.
But there was on the previous map, you think about Bang hiding in the corner, the impact of Cryo, whether it be in the early fights or the late.
Been a bit quiet here.
Exactly. A complete change for 100 Thieves. Nongshim, Ivy as reliable as ever. Searching for that 6th round. Now stun up close to Timatino. Just about makes it out, and the spam from Bang good enough to trade onto Danby. It's a solid start for 100 Thieves with the man advantage, but Bang being tagged low and the pressure still being put on. They've got to keep delivering. Timatino with the missed stun just bails. The fall back towards the site, space taken for Nongshim, numbers traded, and HB looking better for the attackers.
Yeah, they got aggressive in order to even up, and now Timatino goes back for more. Asner alongside him. Keeps things even in terms of numbers. Just look how much space has been taken. This is the problem I talked about. You have Ivy being able to give them the B site for free. TPing straight in, the pit now goes down, but it seems like they're still a little wary of some of that flank control. That's why the attacker yet to get that plant in, and Arsene has now found himself right within opposition ground.
That smoke's gonna fade.
No!
30 seconds
Thinking
left.
maybe they'd left.
Smart from RB.
RB was sat waiting while Ivy covers up top. Comfortable plant can now be found. Francis has been a snake in the grass for a while, but he's wrapping back to the squad just in time. Cryo, we talked about his performance in the last map, and now a chance. The judge, it seemed, would count him out. But that pick gives him a weapon with a smoke down as well. He can actually recover it, and he might need it because Bang, low on HP, low on look, is being taken out. Look how far back that rifle went. He's managed to recover it. Managed to get it into his hands, but this, a bridge too far for certain. Ivy, reliable as ever, is there to close this one 6-5. The lead now Nongshim's.
Again, just great work from Ivy, but I also want to give a shout out to RB. Just the patience they have to tap the spike in the B site and then him just wait and watch the smoke. He had an inkling that okay, we need to maybe get another pick before we can actually get that spike down, and is just so patient. Lets his teammate cover off other angles and just holds that position for an unfathomable amount of time. That's why you see the risk taken. There was no information for 100 Thieves at that point in their early start. Their 5-1 lead has diminished into nothing. Nongshim may have fallen for the trap of picking Sunset, but it seems like they're perfectly comfortable over on Lotus.
Oh, old pop by Danby. Already taking down Cryo and looks for more towards backside. Asuna, yeah, I mean, he's in a good spot, but they didn't push in. It looked like they'd invade the smoke for a moment, but 100 Thieves think better of it. Wait a while, and then Danby still with a sliver of health. Fighting everybody! 1 HP before he's finally put to bed. Danby coming back with a vengeance. Seems to have locked in that lead at halftime. Bang, up against the clock, running it down, doing his best, but his best not even nearly good enough.
God, that is just the level that this man can bring. There was a moment where they decided not to be putting him on this Neon anymore, to put him here and there throughout stage 1. And boy, am I glad to see him back on an agent that makes him so comfortable and makes everybody else so uncomfortable. 25 HP is how much he had after that first battle, and from then onwards, you'd think maybe he'd play it safe, but absolutely not. While on 1 health, he takes down 2. And in the end, for the rest of his team, it was easy to clean that one up. Someone else, though, who is always easy on the ears. Let's go down to Ian Chambers.
Cheers, Tom. As we go along this week, we are going to be joined by incredibly special guests throughout this process. And it doesn't get more special than this. We are in the City of Love, and 100 Thieves, Bang, has got some serious support out here. His mum, Tina, and Aunt Mary are loving this experience. Tina, what do you think of all of this?
This is just a blessing to be here. Paris is beautiful. The fans are amazing. We're rooting for 100 Thieves. So proud of Sean, and we know that they are going to win.
Ooh, I love the confidence from Mama here. How is it feeling on your side, Mary? How has this experience been for you so far?
It has been so precious. It's such an honor to be here with all of you fans to support my nephew, Sean, and his teammates at 100 Thieves. It's amazing.
Brilliant. I'm just going to bring you forward just a touch. Listen, you guys have traveled a long way to come here to Paris. You're from Los Angeles. Yeah. You've come all the way from New York. What does it feel like to be watching esports in such a tremendous part of Europe?
This is just a dream come true, especially for a mom. I'm so emotional because I love these guys, love Sean and this team, and everyone at 100 Thieves. Thank you, boys. You're killing it.
And they can win?
Absolutely.
All right. Did you know that he was going to be doing this when he was a little kid, just briefly?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, you can watch some more of him. This is amazing. Give it up for Mary and Tina. We get right back into the game.
Make no mistake, those cheers are also for Ian Chambers. We love to see him doing his thing down in that arena, and we also love to see the players doing just the same. It has been a big bounce back from Nongshim, who seem determined to bring us to a map 3. It's a semi-final. You never want to see them go by quickly, unless you got a game tomorrow, I suppose, which is true for one of these teams. 100 Thieves trailing by 2. If they want that quick success, it's going to have to be a strong start to the attack side.
Best of 5 awaits the winner. A third, fourth match awaits the loser. But the fact is, everybody wants a chance to take the title here at EWC. And of course, the team that did it last time already out, already crushed. That's another thing. You don't want to watch your key get crushed, your name shattered by that wonderful machine behind. Timotino, though, into the space they take. Every pistol thus far has gone the way of 100 Thieves. Is it going to be another one? Well, he needs an early escape.
Yeah, right agent for it, though. Nice paranoia through. Vora forced into a fight, but still holding on for dear life. A lot of tags in from Nongshim, and down. They look to close it out. Their hard work finally paying off with a pistol round for Nongshim.
This is the difficult thing when facing this squad. It feels like you can start putting narratives on the table about like what side of the map they're good on, or maybe their pistol ratio and how things have been going so far. And when they have momentum, it all becomes irrelevant. Like, that's what this team has in droves. They just believe that they can run over opposition. And honestly, with 7 rounds in a row now, my gaze is going to look towards 100 Thieves of when can you stop them? When can you slow this team down? They did it in the last map, but they did it slightly quicker than this. And of course, in this round, oh, not a single upgraded pistol. It's just going to be the classics.
Connecting for a couple up against the pistols. It is an easy, flawless round for Nongshim. That's certainly going to get the confidence back into play for this squad. Like you said, for 100 Thieves, the question is, can they stop them now? Can they slow them? We knew that Nongshim looked like a completely different team on the last map. Deactivated everything that worked for them before, stopped working for them over there. A lot of that I would put down to the composition that was in play. But now, everything that was there is back. Ivy's having the game, or more so, the tournament that he was. Danby is doing Danby things. But 100 Thieves are buying rifles. This is their line in the sand, their moment to stop Nongshim before it spirals out of control.
It's worth noting versus mates, 10 rounds in a row. It's what Nongshim won to bring it back. 100 Thieves have got to try and stop that early, but they're very nearly there already. Much earlier than last time out, and an aggressive stance, but it seemed like the Thieves had it under control. They were patiently waiting instead. It's an early trade of damage. RB still going back in and very nearly clearing Vora. While cowering in their spawn, the Thieves have managed to cling to life versus the bonus, but they still have no idea where Ivy is.
I certainly know where his utility is with the wall going up. It hasn't left them perturbed whatsoever. The B site's still the target. The snake bite will get them in.
30 seconds left.
Nongshim will hope that an opportunity is offered up.
Spike
The
planted.
golden plate.
Oh, dia ngeliatin
Cryo
sini.
in the corner. No, it's a quick swing in from Timotino. If he was slightly slower to react, there would have been some real danger there, but it's a formality to close out for 100 Thieves, a necessary win.
Yeah, and you look at the way that this round was played by Nongshim, you can see they wanted to almost just trip them from behind, get right up in their face in the early stages of the round and not allow them anything. It was a good attempt at a bonus round with how much damage they were able to do. But the fact is, although they've broken the streak of rounds slightly earlier than the mates managed, there's an operator coming back. There's full rifles for the rest.
I'm out of here.
They're saying that RB has taken a nasty tag very early on this round.
A lot of this is going to come down to Danby by the looks of things. The rotations as the heals go through onto RB on the A site. There's only one man on C. Some utility to help him out. The vice wall reposition will delay them somewhat. Indeed, a flash over has stopped them almost completely, but 100 Thieves seem to be... Oh, Ivy! That's a sneaky play to get right through. Timotino did not see that coming, and it's given them the early info on the rotation that the ramp is coming over to this A site. You've already got X-Ross on the cross, but the Viper wall cuts him off. 100 Thieves even then challenge through it. Take him down. Put us into a 3v4 with a big pick from Francis.
Puts the advantage back. Stun creates an awkward position for Asuna. Isolates both players, leaving him stunned. Now they need a hero. That's a nice shot from back, but he has to do everything, and as he looks to move forward to take a fight, he is caught from behind. As said, they may have ended the streak, but that hasn't changed the outlook. The third map seemingly on the horizon, as there is no brakes on the Nongshim train.
There's a really nasty pickup by Ivy, especially. Like, if Timotino's still alive in this fight, considering like he's been the one looking for those deeper challenges, there's more pressure onto someone like Danby. There's more bodies there. They needed it. The important pickups found by Ivy. The formalities there for Danby, and 10-6. As a result, the pistol, it gave them a leg up, but now it looks like they are miles ahead. 11 almost guaranteed with 100 Thieves playing in eco. The pistols have come through. So far, these kind of rounds have been big money-making opportunities for Nongshim as well. They've been pretty clean. You have to hope for 100 Thieves that they can at least draw blood.
And the worry is that since their lead, it's only been a singular round versus a bonus. 100 Thieves haven't given us anything in this map other than those first 4 or 5 to make us believe that they are going to take this in a 2-0 fashion. Nongshim have not been winning games cleanly, but they have been winning games. Over the top goes one, at least making things a bit more costly. Maybe the Mitchman curse could help them out a little bit, because it might not be going cleanly until Danby arrives, but he's now been tagged down to 10 HP. There's a real chance here. A swing back from Cryo. He believes that he can win this round. The pit to give him some space. Danby might not respect that space. In fact, he certainly won't, and is punished because of it. A stun up leaves Cryo a little bit lower than expected. He has no idea where his opponent's coming from, and instead looks to go walkabouts. But on the edge of this, his opponent just knows! Did he show anything out of that pit, or was that just a sixth sense?
I think when he crouched and looked to the right, his foot might have stuck out of the very bottom, and there is a chance. I have to believe it. I have to believe that, or I'm gonna have to accuse him of wall hacking. It's one or the other, because that was a little bit crazy. I don't know if we'll even see it in the replay. So nice to take down Danby. You knew he was going to get aggressive. There it is.
The
bottom
very
right.
bottom corner. And he even
gap.
looks at it at the end just to go like, yeah, bro, that's what, I'm not cheating. I looked at the corner. See, that's how I knew. No one checked PC. Again, though, I think you're up against Ivy at the last second. It's the last man you want to see. Sure, Danby might have the craziest, and the fact that he tried to dive through that pit alone is a little bit manic.
I'm telling you, in my head, I was begging him not to, but the second, you could see it, Cryo tapped it once, immediately put his gun up, because he was like, I know that crazy little guy's going to come in. I know he's going to do it. And eventually he thinks, oh, I guess he's not. Nope, right in at the last second. He's a madman. And I think that is something that for 100 Thieves, like, they've come into today very ready for it, because it's one thing to go, oh, he's going to push you all the time. But then there comes this point where, again, I look back at Sunset, there's 30 seconds left on the clock. They're sitting in mid still. And someone's surely going, I don't think it's too late. He's not going to push. And the right call there is, no, he is. No, he is. They're coming. And eventually the push comes in.
It's when.
Yes, exactly.
And it could be at any point of any moment of any second of any round. Come on, they are not dealing too well. All right. Arsenal, that's one hell of a start. But there's Danby once again. You thought losing 2 players might deter, but look at where they are. 2 players are still pushing towards the spawn. Danby is pushing back into the position that they've just died from. The A site is known to be the more vulnerable. And an early post plant, an ultimate online for Bora.
Planted.
This is a very good opportunity now for 100 Thieves.
One slip up though, and Danby will pull that advantage back into neutral territory. Instead. It's Cryo showing he's still got the opping chops to take down Danby. And a 4v2 for Nongshim. Plenty of runway for this squad, but a save seems like the right call.
Yeah, finances are rough.
You know Cryo sat there with an operator as well. You're probably losing the first one who breaks through that wall, and then the credits really start to run dry. Yeah, you can take an eco. You can take 2 in a row if you want. Really build up to catch up on a lot of ground to make up. That's a very successful start to what needs to be a comeback.
Yeah, good hold off the early aggression. It's the same thing we needed to see in terms of reaction to the last map. I think especially after a pause, you can kind of understand why Nongshim would do that. You go, okay, they've taken a pause. Whatever they plan, let's try and disrupt them. But the dodge of the flash, 2 quick shots, and even though he falls, it leaves so much space available to 100 Thieves to fill in, get in the post, and then have quite a lot prepared. And the fact is they didn't use the ultimates in the last round, so they have them to play with in this one.
A few tags up for Cryo early on. He hoped he'd get his reward with a late push-up, but it is an operator stalemate that I think is about to come to a head.
Toxins going up.
Cryo peeking through the wall will block Danby off. And Danby just sits and waits. While that stalemate's playing out, you can see that 100 Thieves are starting to scrap towards the C site, attempting to pull those rotations to get peeks out on the A site by pressuring the other side. But that peek never comes through. Danby, the most aggressive player that I think I've ever seen in the game, has sat in a corner for the last minute, staring at this angle, waiting for somebody to come stepping forward. And even as this wall goes up and down, this man refuses to move. He is waiting for a reward that he knows is on the way.
Gotta be careful though.
But now he's in a bit of pressure, a bit of trouble surrounded like this.
Another angle. I don't know how Francis isn't aware of that.
30
They were very clearly documented by Danby.
Hey!
He actually misses.
Meleng Danby-nya.
He is human. Now the overdrive comes in. Late flank caught. Showstopper popped immediately. 18 seconds for 100 Thieves. And the TP almost seemingly used as a bit of a ruse. Instead, it's going to work out. The showstopper is taken down.
Nice.
The remaining players looking to try and find a way back in. Timatino's position is perfect, though. Already executing one. The swing in front of him, though. He's been handed a rifle. Given the opportunity to try and break the lines of the opponent's bang, playing up close is not long for this world. And now the deeper position players need to try and hold the line, but it's all down to Bora, and he will not be able to. 12 found by Nongshim, 1 away from a third map.
This is the Nongshim we were expecting to see here today. We saw them pressured in the first map, and they crumbled underneath its combined weight from 100 Thieves, but now Nongshim, they come back fighting into every single fight there, every duel taken. It's taken with confidence. A big difference to that previous map, a huge turnaround, and indeed a scoreline that's almost a polar opposite of the previous. 12-7, 5 chances to close this out, and I think Haven is owed between these two teams. I feel like both have had their time in the limelight in this series, but we want to see both Titans standing tall at the same time.
I want that Phoenix battle. I'll be brutally honest with you. That's what I've been most excited for today. We've dodged it so far. RB, what is this? RB, what are you doing? This is madness in the smoke behind the entirety of the opponents, and now his teammates look to swing in. They've dealt with it reasonably well, but Francis then drops the spike. RB maybe making the most aggressive play of the day, and Francis is there to close it. Nongshim will not go down.
In the night, without the fight. We will not go down, 'cause it's a night.
they should have done. Ivy's reign of terror was something to behold on the previous map. Timatino has been excellent in these pistol rounds. Still 3 of the 4 have gone the way of 100 Thieves. Will they turn this back to their 4th?
Cage triggered.
Well, they start with a disadvantage, but not for long. Cryo bringing us back to even, but the spams and the smoke is deadly both ways. The wrap-up from Timatino could be the difference maker, though. He has a backstab guaranteed. Ivy looking the other way on the walk up middle. It all depends on when Timatino strikes. As the drone goes out, there's 2 players spotted in utility. A stun through. Timatino wasting no time, but Francis, stunned up with his gun up, finds himself a kill, and Nongshim the advantage.
Stuns are cosmetic. That's why everybody hates the breach now. They didn't realize you could just hit the shot. Anyway, bang though, spots players and gets 2. He's given his teammate a wonderful chance. The Sova versus Sova, the doppelganger, one has to fall. Francis trying to bait the idea that he's on this side, but he is walking towards A. Timing just about gets around the corner. But Vora now is going to almost have to just keep his position hidden. Francis won't be aware of how close his opponent currently is and looks to reset the battle, looks to get towards short, hunt for where his opponent went. A game of cat and mouse with neither side really giving the game away of who is the cat, who is the mouse, who is the hunter, who is the hunted. As that defuse gets to halfway, Vora now gives himself a little bit of extra time, but he is being flanked on. He turns, and it's Francis. Francis is the one to win the fight. The hunter takes the first round.
Now Vora got sight on him first. Francis played that one blind, played it off instinct, but it was enough for Nongshim, and this was the most impressive of all. How he survives there. It doesn't just bring it to the man advantage for Nongshim, it keeps the spike under their control, under his control. And that's exactly what this pistol round was. A 1-0 start for Nongshim, and an eco for 100 Thieves to follow. And this really does feel like a true decider, a true middle ground of these squads. These compositions, I think, where both have shined the brightest. And I'd have to agree with what was said over on the desk by our wonderful Emil. If there's a player to step up here, if there's a player we expect to see hit another level, it is Asuna, and he has to. We know that X-Ross delivers almost every time he's on this agent.
Yeah, and well, even if he doesn't, the depth of talent that they have is just absurd. Danby's about to walk into the stack. Funnily enough, even though it's a stack, I still sit there and wonder how many players does he get? 1, 2 already. Bear in mind, he's completely alone and no one else is here. You think maybe he's locked into a trap. But the fact is, they were locked in with him. You surround a beast. And well, maybe, just maybe, there's an ounce of fear, but not for Danby. Timatino now looks to try and do the same, but he doesn't have the weaponry to replicate that sort of magic, and they're looking to try and keep this round clean. He wanted to not go down to X-Ross, but in the end, he falls to the man he didn't want to give the orb.
And that puts X-Ross up to the ultimate, the run it back online coming into round number 3, the bonus round. You know, you stack a site like this, thinking that if the whole team pushes, you'll have enough there to deal with at least a few of them to make it costly. Well, they sent only one man with a sniper rifle into a pit of snakes, and he came out with the anti-venom. Crazy performance from Danby. As we said, the run it back for X-Ross available, and he is wasting no time. It's already activated, and it's used for the plant.
Yeah, he's just going to get them into a post-plant scenario, just about. We'll be able to get rid of it. Now, counter spam can come from Vora. A chance to maybe bait them in with a tap onto that plant. But it's definitely easier said than done. Bear in mind, this is a lower purchase for Nongshim. If you're a 100 Thieves fan, they can't afford to get away with this round, but already it's looking pretty good. 2 quick kills. That Odin already deleted, and the remaining 2 being backstabbed. Danby did not stop pushing. He never stopped pushing. It's left to Bang, a nice double, but there is 3 for Danby. And a round close, a bonus converted.
I love the idea from Nongshim to start this out with just the ult used from the Phoenix for a plant. He was looking for nothing else. No deep control, no fight. And the normal response when you hear that ult activated is to fall back, is to give the space. They know that, so rather than hunt deep for a kill, they take the advantage that's being given to them. And as you said, Danby's continued push, it was only meant to be a safety net. They almost needed to fall on it with Bang finding that triple, but the time at that point was already applying enough pressure. 3-0 start, and now a very low buy from 100 Thieves.
You mentioned earlier on that if you have a stack, you send one man into it, and he gets 4 kills. You're hoping maybe you can catch everyone, but instead you just get 1. Sometimes this man feels like a team. We have seen this multiple times where he goes into a site alone and comes out with an advantage for his squad. This time though, he has been shut down. A lot of damage being done. Bang again. He's already had a few kills stacking up, but even with what they built, it's going to be
Oh
man that we were hoping to step up ends up maybe having his worst whiff of the tournament so far. Even still, both players low enough, but Cryo at least has some hope.
Well, a shot to the body will be enough. The drone, it didn't see him. No, they haven't caught him just yet. One shot to the body enough, but it's the headshot on the Francis! And the follow through on RB! It looked like a whiff might have thrown their chances out the window. But Cryo is there to put them 3-1. A man who had an incredible performance on Sunset. He was the man who was shutting this squad down, indeed, on the Cypher, doing the damage, and he's here to do it yet again in a round that really 100 Thieves look to have no hope in.
Yeah, they started well. Well, that's a very stressed look at MBS. We've said it already that these are 2 very different looking teams. A team that in the past won Ascension and made it all the way to win a Masters. And sure, a couple of teams that were, or players that were gunning for Ascension last year over on 100 Thieves. But their investment over the years has been clear. Their success has not. Nongshim managed to do it incredibly quickly through their rise. Is this going to be the day for 100 Thieves to make it to a grand final? Or will Nongshim be turning 2026 into their year?
They've traded drones out on B. Nongshim putting that in from window. I don't think they were worried about the mid take, but I guess just showing some presence after 100 Thieves did the same. The defensive side, that's the first piece of actual info they've had to work with in a minute. I've seen 1 player towards A long.
They're not shying away. In fact, they've heard the operator ring out bullets, and they want to try and challenge it. Still quite a lot of Cypher utility, but that first trip, I don't believe has been caught instead. A problem. Bora finds the first. Deny the ult, and again, Danby just looks to take over. Still a player in the corner, but even though Cryo might be in the dark, he just about survives.
Whoa!
Trade back evenly. Cryo's still incredibly low, but they haven't found him, and he's dropped the spike.
Down.
A low HP, but he'll catch him with the jump. That's going to be an opportunity to get the plant down. His opponent a little bit further away, and nothing that Bang can do to stop him, but there's only 10 HP, an ultimate for Exros. If he can get around the corner, he might be able to pop it. Instead, he swings. But Bang had such an HP advantage that he's able to close that out.
Yeah, it's a bad corner to be stuck in with that Phoenix ult. Like, you pop the ult, you swing out. Sure, it's going to reset your health right away when you die, but the spam is going to come through quite quickly. And in most positions, you're not going to get anything from there. But the straight swing out, as you saw the bullets whiz past Bang's head, but the shot not quite landing. That looked crazy, though. Seeing Francis just run it down with the spike towards short in the 2v2.
Yeah.
They obviously really wanted to deal with that player, but that was a hiccup that gave 100 Thieves a chance.
Well, yeah, it looked like Danby had already done enough. It seemed like they're not shying away from this fight. Pop flash ready, but Arsenal maybe thinking better of it. There's the pop, but no reaction off of it. Maybe hoping to hear some spam that might give them a little bit of information. Instead, now comes the ult.
Oh, it's close, but it's only damage, at least to start, as X-Ross goes down. Danby follows. Numbers kept even. The drop down from RB heard, and it's bang to But the team being taken. It gives Nongshim back the advantage, the upper hand reclaimed. The run it back was already used up early on. X-Ross is back to full HP, nice and healthy. Francis not quite in the same boat, and they called to just freeze. Wait for 100 Thieves to run dry on information, to make a gamble, maybe flee the site, or maybe stand in no man's land. That ultimate from Ivy now will find Cryo. They'll have the information to work with, and the spike is already running the other way.
Yeah, I think if you're anyone else, if it's any other team, I think Cryo starts running the other way. But he probably believed in that moment, actually, they're going to try and kill me. They're going to try and kill me. They're not going to let me flee the scene and reset this fight. With Ivy throwing those cages, it held him to the other side of the map. I think the call's also been made that our economy cannot cope with a 1v3 attempt on the 100 Thieves side. The 4-2 scoreline will be guaranteed for Nongshim, and Cryo, all he can hope to do is hold on to the gun.
There's some decent ideas starting this out from 100 Thieves. The idea of the flash, it looked strange in the moment to see Asuna step back into the smoke and fire a flash out onto long. But at the exact same moment, a reveal came through from Vora. The idea, obviously, blind them up, buy yourself a half a second, but just enough for the first ping to get the information. But it was broken immediately by Nongshim. And so 100 Thieves knew, okay, there's players here, the rotates start. They're batting down the hatches. They deal with X-Ross on the run through. They contain that mid fight as well. The chaos of the late round not managed well. It was this push through from Danby. The fact that, again, he finds so much value with Asuna down and out. RB traded. But this TP, or the TP that was taken moments later from Bang. The ult pop by Ivy, the information found. It definitely looked for 100 Thieves like they had the upper hand. I think especially after they dealt with the run it back and found mid lurk.
Clearly.
Nongshim recovered.
100 Thieves feeling the pressure once again. Both teams have been quite sparing with their pauses. I feel like MBS's words have been heard throughout this series so far. Of course, for 100 Thieves, there was a lot of pressure on this org, as I said, but you go back and they've had moments at international events, but making a grand final, it's not been seen with the investment into these rosters, with young blood being brought up from the tier 2. There's always high expectations when you put on that 100 Thieves jersey. Whereas for Nongshim, this is more about showing that they weren't just a one and done, a fluke event that came off the back of a singular agent. Okay, that singular agent is popping off once again for Danby, but they want to show that 2026 is the year of Nongshim Red Force. They're running into
pistols. That's a great paranoia. It gave Danby at least one pickup, but the trade's not good. That's a rifle recovered for 100 Thieves. The four-man stack towards this C site paying dividends early on. And a deep push from Timatino gets him in the right place at the right time. X-Ross, a huge player to take down.
Yeah!
Giving him a chance. Timatino challenged once more with the spike as well. And now RB might have made his way to the A site. He emerged from the shadows, but he is very soon to be sent right back there. Big pickup from 100 Thieves. They gamble stack early, they send the op the other way, and everything goes in their favor.
I think also an important round for Timatino individually. He's been having a rough one so far. I think this was his second, third, and fourth kill, all in the same round. Giving him that operator, leaving him to lock down one side of the map. You can see that energy bringing him to life. An important round directly after the pause. 3 of the last 4, and look at what it's done to the economy of this attack inside, but even still, an early Hunter's Fury maybe signaling that this would be an aggressive push, and although they've taken ground, it's more to force them maybe into a panicky B hit, but, well, it doesn't look panicky.
Taking themselves the opening and put them under pressure. And Navara, he's died almost exclusively to the hot hands. Nongshim now with weapons recovered. And a blip on the radar moments ago has gone silent. Asuna and Bang, both coming from the window. No idea that Ivy is playing so slow through the door, but they've caught him. That should have been what secured the round, but now it has spurred 100 Thieves forward. It's given them a chance, a small chance, but one nonetheless. The reveal a little too deep, but time surely already gone. Backstab here from Bang could be huge! With Francis down now, it feels like they have a chance, a moment, but as slim as it is, the time could have decided it if the bullets did not. A thrifty coming out of the side of Nongshim. $13 missed. Damn, he knows. I mean, he's not blind. He sees that Molly hasn't gone all the way. But he's hesitant to clear that corner for good reason. 100 Thieves right at that choke point, ready to flash around on Asuna the second contact is found.
Shying away, but maybe falling back to the trap. There's the flash, but they are ready for it. He even pops ult in the middle. What's going on here for Extras? Bro, this is a semi-final. You can't be running around like that.
Cage triggered.
It just almost feels like he's just having a good time, having a laugh with his friends in ranked, whereas 100 Thieves are trying to sweat out any round that they can. Two completely different vibes.
Well, his whole job there was just to be the recon, right? Recons don't shoot. They don't have guns. You ever seen a Sova drone shoot back? Cypher camera now, don't talk to me about that, but he goes in, plays his role. Point of contact, finds the info, and they close it from there. And very nicely dealt with it as well when you see that initial fight. X-Ross taking the duel. The flash from Asuna, the trap triggered, and yeah, from X-Ross's perspective, he's pretty much dead. He immediately pops the ult. What he can't see, but we can, is 3 players behind him weren't blind and were very, very ready to shoot right back. A bloodbath, and it's only 100 Thieves contributing. I think the attempt at the spam right off rip, and it looked like he could have gotten a lot there, but barely a tickle onto Nongshim, and ult activated by Asuna to run it back in full effect as Bang crunches from the other side. The paranoia lands, and Asuna
Wah, bingung Asuna.
some kills.
Back to Asuna nih.
X-Ross is taken too, and yeah, I'm not too sure what that was from Bang, but luckily it's the only player lost.
Yeah, originally I thought that had to be someone over on the attack side, but no,
RB was getting out of the corner after being hit by a paranoia. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, but they both TP'd, and I don't know if Bang was trying to act as a distraction for an ult, but that seems like a blunder. As you said, though, they come out with an advantage. Drone is going to clear outside of A. B site looks like the target.
Cover going out.
And a plant should be guaranteed. Cryo has been flashed off the angle. He's got to be careful re-swinging into this. X-Ross is waiting, but he wins the fight anyway. Makes this further and further out of the control of the opposing side, and it's all down to Ivy. He's looking for a second target. He's hoping to try and bring this a little bit closer, but they're waiting. Arsenal has his teammates back. They will get 4.
I started to think back to Ivy's performance yesterday. The second he had the trigger discipline.
Oh, he could do no wrong.
Onto Cryo, yeah, it felt like he was going to walk away with a whole lot more than he should. But a necessary win for 100 Thieves. That run to the grand final still alive for this squad. And it was this from Bang. A nice double on the crunch. Let's not talk about the paranoia TP. It's fun when it lands. It's flashy, but the rest of the squad was here to recover on that.
Wait a minute.
All
2 ciphers. An important round. For 100 Thieves. Their recent form on this map through EWC and the qualifiers shows them able to pull off big halves on either side of the map, but they want to give themselves some runway in case that pistol goes the other way, and the pace of Nongshim just is not stopping again. They fail on the B-site plant, they go right back to the B-site plant. Do you expect there to be a gap? No, Kevin!
Wah,
He's missed his shots, he's still standing. He's mortal after all, and eventually will be crushed.
7-5 at the half still possible, and it looks to be likely. Nongshim fighting themselves
Tiba-tiba
into a
habis loh.
commanding lead at the half with a Hunter's Fury. Bora desperately trying to fight his way through, but he can't escape the first pulse. Just about slips the second. The shock dart will guarantee no defuse, and for now it looks like enough has been done by Francis. 8-4. Nongshim with a solid first half here on Haven.
Yeah, a safe pair of hands to take them through that final round, and a commanding lead will put them into a good position. 8-4 for Nongshim. A chance to crush the key of 100 Thieves after this half is done. And for them, a chance to go for the out in London. But now looks set for another grand final, unless 100 Thieves have got something to say about it. Let's go down to Lou with a fan from each team.
Très contente effectivement d'être accompagnée de deux fans. I am now joined by two fans. On the side of 100 Thieves we have Jeremy, and on the side of Nongshim we have Colin. And the first question I wanted to ask you, Jeremy, is that are you wearing the right jersey? What's happening? You know, we're here for Sen. Is this the reason why you're rooting for 100 Thieves? Bang, maybe?
I mean, NA is the best region, so we gotta root for it, no?
We hear some boos. What do you have to say?
I mean, I think 100 Thieves wins the match, and they're kind of struggling, but I think they will win this.
Still feeling confident with resilience, sorry. And what about you, Colino? Pourquoi est-ce que tu soutiens finalement Nongshim? C'est vrai qu'on n'a pas beaucoup de fans de Nongshim, notamment en France. Qu'est-ce qui t'a fait les soutenir? Basically, why are you supporting them?
Parce que je les ai rencontrés face à un match M8. C'est une équipe qui est sortie de nulle part. Un joueur sorti de nulle part. Ils ont changé la méta de Valorant en seulement le temps d'un master. Et ça, je pense que c'est une première pour une équipe.
Okay, very good reasons. They changed the meta basically. I discovered them by watching them facing Gentlemates, and I was just dazzled by them. Now, guys, I'm suggesting a little game. You know, we don't do just predictions. You're gonna say 100 Thieves win. You're gonna say NS win. So I'm gonna offer a rock, paper, scissors. Whoever takes the win. This is a BO1. We don't do BO3s here. This is a best of one. Let's see who can take the win. Are you guys ready? We go at shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And that's a win for Nongshim. Let's see if Colin is right. Back to the game.
Nobody tell MBS. Nobody tell him. He's stressed enough as it is. He's stressed enough.
I think I might have seen him turn around during that one. Let's hope he was too far away.
Focus on the game. Focus on the game.
Listen, I don't know how his eyesight's holding up these days. We'll have to hope. We'll have to hope that that's going to be the saving grace for 100 Thieves right now. All sights on that prize. The grand final spot up for grabs, but they are trailing by 4 at the halftime for Nongshim. Ever since they found their footing on map number 2, it does look like we've gotten the Santiago victors back. This squad, someone that has already defeated some of their demons from the past, double down on defeats they've dished out, but they don't want to be outlasted.
Pistol round is a must. Timotino looking to lead the charge, and he's done. Good reveal. Bora helps out with another. This pistol round's looking flawless already from 100 Thieves. It leaves Ivy and RB with an absolute mountain to climb, and you can see how far ahead they are in this round with them looking to try and manage those orbs. They've got to be careful of the walk-up, but RB's dealt with ease. And now Ivy, a 1v5 will be the moment of the tournament. Instead, you see us sooner. They got an ore, by the way, but nobody else is going to be handing themselves to Ivy quite like that.
Yeah, Asuna should be the one looking for that fight, but the rest sit back and look for the round. Spotted up top, they'll fill in the space, and Cryo's ready and waiting for Ivy to step on down those stairs. It is a 5th found for 100 Thieves, and this pistol, it was necessary to close the gap. I like that they started it with confidence. The pack mentality and the full push towards the A site, the reveal behind, absolutely perfect. As Timotino, rather, was dragging the gaze of everyone on site. And the rest could flood on through. I do want to see that be a factor for 100 Thieves, the pacier rounds up against Nongshim, because we know this defensive side, they love to push, and there is definitely merit, and there was on Sunset, to sitting back and waiting. But for the first few, I think setting the pace, setting the tone, important for this attack side as they mount this road to recovery.
Yeah, I think also we need to see that double duelist that the desk highlighted. On the defensive side, it's forgivable. They were struggling with the sheer pace and aggression of their opponents, and although there was a round or two from Timotino, he was ultimately shut out. Now he's the tip of the spear. Arsena there alongside him. He might have a fair few assists, but wasn't able to get too much in the kills department. This is the half where expectations now fall onto their shoulders. And especially, yeah, I was about to say, we're going to see some weaponry juggled over so that Arsena can just run in, die, fine, get a kill, fine. He just needs the orb.
Yeah, the impact seen in the previous half. There's the orb found for Asuna. He doesn't mind what happens to him from here on out. Timotino falling is something picked up. There's a bulldog now for X-Ross, and time is not fully gone yet, but it should be too low.
Waduh, blunder kah? Blunder kah? Blunder. Ditinggal loh.
The thieves were at the door, but they've changed the locks. 4 rounds to the good.
Ini ngapain ya?
But that one never should have been.
That might be it. That genuinely might be the rounds that defines this tournament for 100 Thieves. You've just lost in basically with seconds to spare. You were busy managing your orbs. You were busy focusing on which player would get their ultimate.
Ditinggal,
And you
bro.
got overzealous. You got sloppy. You got lazy. And that's the moment the Nongshim Red Force decide to strike.
Ambil buat
There
orbnya,
never
buat
should have been a hope
ultinya.
in hell
Timotino kenapa
that they win
ngikut?
that round.
Gitu
And for
aja.
100 Thieves,
Dia ngapain
I don't think
ngikut?
there's anything worse.
Teman-teman ini udah cabut, bro. Ngapain, bro?
They've broken into a jail and locked themselves in it. Or Nongshim locked them in. That's incredible.
Well, that's like they've broken into the bank and they forgot to take the cash. Like, it's insane. They walked out with nothing.
They took a risk. Not even a risk. They sent a man to his death to get an orb, to give them a better chance at winning the next round. And in the process, they lost a round that was genuinely unlosable. Fighting for a spot in the grand finals, and you say going out with a whimper, that is a dream compared to what they've just experienced. Burned too bright. Now they've been singed. This is incredible. This timeout. I don't envy any of them. I don't know what you say after a moment like that. Everything done right until the very final moment.
But this almost just has to be a motivational speech.
I think you've got to fake a tech pause to get your adrenaline down. Like, that's the only
luckily
kick
for
the
them,
PC.
I do think that Dabby ripped out his headphones, so that might give him a little bit of extra
That's
time.
a lifeline for 100
But I
Thieves.
genuinely think in these moments for MBS, like, you can't even be critical. Everybody on the stage knows what they've done. Everybody in the crowd, everybody at home.
If you're critical, the game's over.
Everybody knows what's happened. This is about getting the mental of the team back on track. You had your lifeline, you had your road to recovery, and you've thrown it away. Now you need to find another route. You need to cut through the forest. You need to dig a tunnel underneath the Nongshim Red Force because, yeah, you've just hand-delivered them an advantage they never should have had.
Moments like that, I can't stress enough how they will break the strongest of teams. It's so easy to point the finger, to have blame in a moment like that. That has to be a shared burden. And sharing a burden like that while Nongshim are running away with it on the other side of the stage, that is not an easy task. My heart goes out to them.
Wait, it just has to be a write-off. Like, that's basically what you have to do. Forget it ever happened.
It's so much easier said than done.
Yeah, of course. Play it round by round. I think if you're a 100 Thieves fan, you've got to hope for an immediate response. But the problem is you've obviously lost a lot in terms of finances, weaponry. You at least have that run it back available to you. That is the one small silver lining. And we've seen them have heroic rounds. We've seen moments from the likes of Cryo, especially with a pistol in hand. But yeah, you look at the buy that they're coming back into here, and it stinks. And for the defenders, well, they've just had a huge injection of cash, courtesy of the Thieves.
Silver linings, Tom. They've got the run it back. So that's, you know, let's just look only at the positives. Now I'm finished. Now we can look at everything else.
Here's a gun.
Everything else is a negative.
Oh, here we go. Arsenal leading the way. They've managed to walk their way in, and that's not a bad start. A chance for an immediate response, actually looking a little more likely than expected. The first fight going their way, but the immediate shutdown of the ultimate. Bang, hoping to try and catch someone by surprise. But instead, down their heels. The spam in an attempt. The spike ticking in 100 Thieves' favor. But they need to hold.
This could be it. This could be the reset that they needed. The best chance for it. The rifle up close in the smoke. Asuna needs to step up in a big way, and he does. The hot hands for 2. The deep push for
Aduh.
Now it's the
Zuna
pistols left,
lagi,
the
Zuna
time ticking
lagi.
so quickly already. Dambi and X-Ross would need to be perfect, and now it's left to just one. They can throw themselves at this one at a time, but tucked in the corner. Bang didn't have a chance to fall away. X-Ross has to break the cam, tap and bait in for the fight, and even with Cryo falling so quickly, there is no time to recover this round.
Yeah, fantastic work. As said, we're going to be critical in those moments, but to have the resilience to immediately break back, Arsenal having a fantastic round. His ultimate actually not being that much of a factor. It was mostly him standing within the molly, fighting them tooth and nail. Timotino's lurk with the pistol as well. A saving grace to slow down the opponents, and then they just play that time. They play it well. An immediate resurgence, a response, and not allowing Nongshim to extend that lead any further. You now look at the defense, and they have some troubles of their own, but they're immediately hunting for Vora. They're even throwing in a run it back of their own, but kind of stuck in the trip saved them.
That certainly slowed this push from Nongshim. But going in the other direction isn't exactly an easy closer. This position from Francis will be spotted, will be seen by Cryo. Dotting their I's, crossing their T's. 100 Thieves now. Boots on the ground for the A site. Post plant almost guaranteed. Damn, scares me. Oh, he's jumping out. That's what I mean, bro. There's no way he should do that. There's no way you should even expect a player to do that. But I see him walking forward in heaven. I see no one nearby, and I think, yeah, he probably does believe he can win this round.
I'm not going to lie to you. I knew 100% he was jumping out that window. The second he walked up there, I was like, he's going to try and hit the timing as they go for the plant. Yeah, there are worlds where he comes out with a multi-frag. This was not that world. They were very, very ready for him to try and make that play. Now it's a round where the additional weaponry for Nongshim isn't going to affect them buying into the next round. They have the credits to do so. For RB, the only thing he's really hoping for is an exit frag, and if not, to die to the spike. Maybe steal an extra gun away, but not in this case. It will be a 7th round for 100 Thieves, and this one is a little bit more clean. It will start to build up that economy once again.
Little by little, and brick by brick, 100 Thieves can get back into this. It's certainly not too far gone, and they've already overcome their biggest challenge, which is not crumbling after that crazy round from Nongshim. The defuse under their nose has cost them as the gap extended in Nongshim's favor, but now it starts to close once more. Seeing that, a timeout pulled into play.
Well, we've said this consistently, that the Nongshim coaching staff are very proactive with their pauses. They spot the problems early, and they look to stamp them out before it gets too dangerous. And I think they do it more often when they know they're on their weaker side of the map. Like, you look back to their victory versus G2 on Haven, it was a 10-2 attack side. They dominated the attack and won 13-10. They had their struggles when it came to the defense. Versus Mates, the defeat, again, it came on the defensive side. 3 rounds to 8 of their opponent. And even going back to the qualifier, it was an 11-1 attack side versus Gen G that, again, wasn't a convincing victory. So they know that this half is going to be a little bit tougher. And with opportunities given, a singular rifle in the hands of Arsenal was enough for them to take a round away from them. They want to make sure that even though they're 2 rounds ahead, they don't allow their lead to slip.
It must have felt like the beginning of the end for 100 Thieves when Nongshim found that round. But they've now seen their opponents step back up to the plate in a big way. Well, this one's knocked out of the park by Ivy. A spam through the smoke for the man advantage. And it does feel like 100 Thieves have been the victim of that. It feels like everyone who faces Nongshim is the victim of that at a ridiculous rate.
Ivy just has a BS monitor that's off the scale. Like, you're just going to hear it almost beeping off the charts if it goes anywhere near him, because the amount of spam kills that he's able to get has got to be infuriating. If he didn't seem like such a friendly guy, I'm sure many would be cursing his name. That's already a spot. Francis has info. It's whether or not they pull the rotation. There's a
Itu dari situ.
I said it was spotted.
Wah.
Instead, well, Francis gets the trade onto a Danby who threw himself to the walls.
Ya.
But RB is well aware
Sayang
of Cryo's position.
Gagal
A
dapat
2v4
dia.
now needed to stop
30
double
seconds
digits.
left.
And that's the option to go back, pretty much taken out of your control. They could have already pushed C long, and now you've lost your lurker, so no garage control. You can't go C, you can't go B, not without a gamble. Instead, they'll play with the space they know they had. At this point, long is a danger, and that dropout from X-Ross is too, but 10 seconds left. They just need to play the time. But of course, for X-Ross, that means swinging in to take the fight.
Yeah, he's been having an insane map. Like, you think back to what he was able to do with the Guardian when they were a little bit further behind. I think now that might be his 20th kill onto the board. Seemed like RB again was well aware, but it's just the timing. We mentioned it, the risk of jumping out that window, and the next round they jump out the window again.
Yeah.
They do not care what the risk is. They can make it work.
He not only jumps at the window, but with 10 seconds left, when he can play Ringer Rosie and wait for backup, he swings wide.
Why not?
And it's almost, it would be so frustrating. I'd love to say, see the silly mistakes he's made. He's 20-9. So, yeah, I guess you can just swing it because you're winning all your fights. I can't argue with results.
Okay.
Danby,
a bit more than a drone.
He's been deleted again. This is a big pickup. Last time when this happened, 100 Thieves were already a man down and the trade came in quickly. This time, they get to play with their advantage.
The A side completely abandoned. A Hunter's Fury available for this attack. If they wanted to use it on entry, they would find nothing, but it seems like Nongshim have gambled on the other. And there you go. Hunter's Fury will spot nobody on the site, but immediately the defense look to try and re-aggress. Cryo knows there's an opponent on the
Aduh,
other
udah nembak
side,
lagi dia.
but instead, it might be the push-up from the other. He's TP'd behind him. He's TP'd behind him. Those are plays that you normally don't see work, but RB's doing it on a semi-final stage.
He saw the TP and assumed that RB had ran away, had fled. But Nongshim are playing a confident game. We've seen that from the get-go, revealed through, but Broken immediately flash, gets them through the choke point. They're paying with bodies as they go. Asuna, the crossfire with Bang, strong as could be, and the spam from Bora backs them up. As X-Ross finds himself alone, it will be a round win for 100 Thieves. 10-8 now, still a healthy enough gap there for Nongshim, but signs of life going nowhere for 100 Thieves.
Yeah. TikTok play in the middle of it, but it was after already taking control of the site, already shutting down Danby, and the Hunter's Fury, although not dealing any damage, it gave so much information over to the attack. They were able to get comfortable in their post plants. It definitely seems like a game of the calm versus the chaos. The patience versus the aggression. And with 100 Thieves stabilizing, if they can take this round versus the Pistols, they'll be one away. That's not the start they were looking for. And also look at the ults that are available for this defensive side. It's a weak weapon round, but it is not weak overall.
Strange to see Nongshim stop like that. They've sent Danby back in the other direction. 100 Thieves no doubt expected to see continued aggression from this squad, but it was a freeze from the defense. Now 100's Fury almost trying to bait 100 Thieves into pushing this position so they can pounce with the players up close. But it's a very passive stance coming out of Cryo, coming out of Bang. The drone going through. Oh, that's a brave swing. And now the pressure for Cryo, as he's at least able to deliver one, shutting down X-Ross, deleting the ultimate that was in play. But these fights, not clean, not easy for 100 Thieves, but they do put it into an almost unlosable position in the end. Chances for Nongshim, but none converted.
No, as well, I mean, I mentioned that, as said, although it's not a round expensive in weaponry, it is expensive in ultimates. Nongshim throw a lot into this round. The run it back, the overdrive, the Hunter's Fury, all expended in this round in an attempt to turn the tide, and it's Timatino and Asuna that are able to hold that line. That's a really important round from 100 Thieves because it eliminates almost every valuable ultimate that Nongshim has.
Well, we said we needed Asuna to step up. Bottom of the board now, but 100 Thieves not struggling, even with Xros on the other side. Showing up again in the same way as we've seen him many a time before. Continuing that performance with Timotino down. Left on a sliver of health himself. The hot hands thrown out the other side. Arby wasn't even forced into the open by it. Tried to get ahead of it. Caught off, the numbers back to even. Francis put under pressure, but he's got support. Xros is on the side, not for long. 100 Thieves make a quick advantage out of that.
Planted.
They still have to deal with Ivy and Danby, the two shining lights of this squad. Danby, the hero of old, and Ivy, certainly the hero of new. It's a beautiful start. The finish needs to be Ivy. He's isolated. The Cypher on the other side, but no info on where Cryo might have gone. The time will start to be a pain as the reposition gives Cryo a lot of space, a lot of time to work with. Waiting out that smoke has run the clock all the way down. Ivy needs to get on that defuse soon. Ticking faster and faster by the second, but he'll get it to half at least. The fight though from Cryo, baiting him in and then finishing him off for double digits.
Incredibly well played by Cryo. The full reposition at the last second, it left a million angles that Ivy had to face off against. Even knows the timing of his cam coming back online so he can pop that right in his opponent's face, have all the information for the battle that was about to ensue, and then leaving it to the last second just to make sure if he lets go, I win. If he doesn't let go, I win. It puts them level, a streak of rounds, putting them back in this map. We thought that round number 2 of this half was going to be the backbreaker, the one that crushed what is, for a couple of these players, a young, inexperienced group versus a Masters winner. But 100 Thieves are showing that they are not going to crumble.
No, their resilience deserves a round of applause. I genuinely, to bounce back in the next round from what was a death blow to the majority of teams, what would be.
What should be, yeah.
Very much so. But they looked at it as a bump in the road. They reset, they found themselves neck and neck now. With Nongshim on the back foot, you would think. And perhaps you'd be right. There it is. Francis taken out. That's the rifle on the ground for Nongshim. Only pistols remain, and a mass exodus of the C and B site as they look to reinforce A. Enemies at the gates. That's the last thing they heard.
30 seconds left.
The 100 Thieves have gone elsewhere, looking to steal some map control away, and, well, Ivy's filled back into space. It's dangerous as he finds the first. Xros here by his side as well. Filling back through to put the pressure on the planter, but the TP out. Resets his That's a mouse wheel jump you never want to see.
That's not some new tech. These players are demons with the Sheriff, but something 100 Thieves have done well is just not giving them opportunities, not giving them free fights, unless there's a teammate alongside it. And they now know that Xros is not on this spike. He needs instant shots. The first one goes pretty well.
Wow!
Well! Oh my lord! He almost corrected just in time. You can never count him out, but 100 Thieves, the trade was quick enough.
It came down to the wire, considering the weaponry brought in for Nongshim. It does make me, you know, if it's early stages, I'm thinking, wow, well, that's a great contest from them. It's a close round, but it's been a lot of close rounds. But 100 Thieves are edging that victory out every single time so far. For Nongshim, this half has been, well, again, you take out that ninja that they had, that sneaky defuse, and it's been a disaster of a half.
Yeah. They've definitely been struggling over on this defense. A second pause being called. I think 100 Thieves have done an excellent job of soaking up the pressure. And then when they can get back into those post plants, they've been almost unstoppable. It literally is just a blip in the second round where they thought it was done. Every other post plant they had has looked very good. They've been incredible at buying themselves time, and the clock then becomes an additional member of their team. I think shutting down Danby early as well, it makes it so difficult to break the sight lines on the entry back into the site. He's definitely had a quieter second half, while Xros has been nothing but quiet. Even still, though, a second pause called, a last-ditch effort to talk from the coaches, and 100 Thieves 2 rounds away from a grand final.
And it looked like it was all over. Not that long ago. Now the lead is theirs. Nongshim putting their credits into this one. Ult's nearly online, but not quite close enough, at least for now. Picks needed. 1 for Xros, and this round becomes incredibly difficult. Traded quickly. Ivy spotted already, trying to make the play out of the garage, but he's not alone. Danby comes to meet him. Now it's going to be a blitz. Cryo. Under the radar, but second man through. Ivy catches him. Danby, the trailblazer, spots Bang right outside the site, but a flurry of fragments.
Wah, tinggal sendiri tiba-tiba. Gila kan, rusuh banget kan.
Within punching distance of a grand final. They've got the code
Tiba-tiba habis tuh
dialed in,
musimnya.
punched in, and all that remains is to turn that final key.
I said it already. They're a team that over the years, their attendance at international events has been few and far between. They made it here last year, entered the group of death, and left in the group stage.
3 peluru.
Now they sit 1 round away from maybe their biggest
Itu masih tempat yang sama.
in Valorant, a grand final, millions on the
Timing
line,
banget loh.
and a chance to be immortalized. But Nongshim are not a team to go quietly. They're not a team to shy away. They have pushed up with 4 players outside this site, and they're looking to fight.
Oh, nggak mau sih itu.
It's been seen though. It's been spotted. The drone had already seen 2.
Yeah, Timothy, no.
More than they bargained for. Hunter's Fury kept reinforcements back, and Danby found 1. The plan tries to see, but the run it back cancels just before the clock. Not quite as favorable as it could be, but a reposition of the plans. They'll now look to fight.
Ya ampun, nanggung banget nge-picknya.
Prepared for everything thrown his way. And Asuna, the man who had to step up to the plate, we said, had to be the difference maker. Well, an ace would certainly immortalize that position. Instead, it will be Nongshim. 12-11, map 3, going the distance. And it's a team who's already hoisted a trophy this year on an international stage, who's fighting for survival.
What an insane round again from Ivy. The man could genuinely have a highlight reel from every single series he's played this tournament. It came down to the last map versus Vitality, and he became an immortal enemy, someone they will look to get revenge on for years to come. And for 100 Thieves now, the pressure is again.
Dimajuin sih.
Oh! Aggression. The point of call. The constant slam of the button, but it's Bora that gets the opener this time. The trade onto Ivy, he could only get 1.
Wah, gila Danby.
It's left down to Francis. The one-man standing. The first
Ngapain
kill's easy.
Buset, Asuna.
Tournament survival. Bang. The prodigal son of 100 Thieves returned to try and take them to a grand final. He was on Sen City. But now he sits with the Thieves, looking to try and rob Nongshim and maybe us of an overtime. And Francis is waiting to see if his opponent looks to wrap around.
It's expecting the aggression. Of course, it's what Nongshim would do, but Bang playing this patiently. His smoke is faded now. The advantage in that fight gone, but the timing couldn't be better. 100 Thieves. They started this with with success. Over on map number 1, it looked like the series was theirs. But Nongshim into an almost undeniable advantage. And at the final moment, when they're counting their money, the vault door swings open. And who stands there but the Thieves? Bags packed, ready for the grand finals.
It's been a long time coming for this organization. They have been in since the beginning. They've been invested. They've been purchasing the young talent. They've been even bringing back old names, committed to some, but constantly attempting to make it to the very top of the tower. And versus Nongshim, I'll be honest, after round 2 of that half, I thought they would be boomed. I thought they would be out of it, facing off against chaos ensued. But they are the control, the calm, the reality that Nongshim had to face. As 100 Thieves will step on this stage one more time in a grand final and have a chance to take a title, immortalize themselves alongside Heretics. And for Nongshim, it was a massive return, but not quite their day today.
They made a deep run. They can be proud of.
Menang. Kalah kagak jadi nih. RRQ.
For the first time in the grand finals at an international must feel amazing, because when I started playing Valorant, since I started casting, you were part of 100 Thieves. So if you want to tell us about that.
Yeah, it's been a long 6 years, and I don't want to end this chapter without winning, so just going to keep going and pushing along.
A grand finals is played to be won, right? Exactly. Donc, deux premières questions. C'est sa première grande finale à un international. Il est trop content, évidemment, d'être là devant un public incroyable, même s'il y avait beaucoup de gens qui étaient pour Nongshim aussi. Ça fait 6 ans qu'il est là chez 100 Thieves, et évidemment, une finale, ça se gagne. Donc, il espère, évidemment, la gagner.
You mentioned it yourself that it feels like almost like a weight lifted. Talk to me why this is almost a bit of a redemption arc for yourself and the team.
I mean, I made EWC last year, we bombed out instantly, and it was pretty heartbreaking. And the year before that, I got Shanghai and top 4, so it's just nice to, get a higher placement than last year. And, we're not going to end here, we're going to go all the way and win.
Timotino said to the French fans, buy the 100 Thieves bundle. Do you have anything you want to say to the French crowd, maybe? Something different?
Thank you for all the support. It's amazing to hear the cheers, and it's a one-of-one crowd. I can't believe it.
Wow, thank you so much. And also on a personal level, thank you very much. Il vous applaudit, il vous remercie, mesdames et messieurs. Merci à vous de faire du bruit pour eux. Également, il est...
Kunci mainnya final tanggal 12 besok ya, semalam. Oh, Lapiatan dari sini nih turun, kalah sama MBR. Di sini kalah sama NRG, dia langsung cabut. Tim-tim Essential ngeri-ngeri banget ya. Gitu nih. Gitu juaranya Nongshim juga itu Ascension. Jauh gemuk. Thank you guys yang udah nonton Mas Party di sini. Thank you juga yang udah subscribe, yang udah like. Thank you. See you next stream ya. Besok kayaknya nonton final deh. Thank you.